It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, back at it. Good to be with you guys. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the loose cannon at the controls. Boys, good to see you.
It's good to see you, big dog. How you feeling today? You good over there?
Outstanding. Well, what a weekend. Beautiful weather. Football began, although really did it because the game just sucked. But Trey Lance was the story coming out of Canton. And I think the Lions, they did fumble the opening kickoff, didn't they?
That happened.
Yeah.
And that is the last time Trey Lance's name will ever be associated with Canton.
He's going to make the team, though.
Probably. Harbaugh seems to love the dude.
Threw him back out there.
You know what jumped out to me about not really the Hall of Fame game was that we all just love the sport so much. 6.9 million people, AR, watch the Hall of Fame game. It's just wild when we get to this portion of the calendar, just the energy that's in the air, which is Ohio State right around the corner, NFL right around the corner. I was surprised by that number, man. I really was. You know, sometimes we get these games that are in the tens and maybe 20 million people watching it. I would have guessed lower than that 7 million people watched the Chargers and the Lions play a football game with, I would think, 80% of that 7 million not really knowing a bunch of the people they were watching.
The only difference for me with preseason football, and I've said this on the show before, is that you have to look at it as an opportunity. Think about the guys that are still trying to make the team, that can make the team, that are going out in a real setting against another team. And it's not just another team, against other guys trying to do the exact same thing.
It's a big deal.
So, yes, I understand why we're not going to be drafting these guys in fantasy, and we're not going to be really looking at them in case there's a horrific injury or something and they'll be forced into play. But there is a difference between a guy hanging on at the Hall of Fame game, and there was a difference between Trey Lance and Kyle Allen. Mm-hmm. There was in the game. It just because the sicko in me was looking at were they down 14-0?
I have no idea.
Exactly, right. So I was looking at the spread. So basically commit me right to the addiction clinic. And so it was 14-0 Chargers. And I believe the Lions were driving and getting 11.5. Yes, I looked.
This is terrible, dude.
This is sicko stuff
I'm
from
sorry,
AR
right.
Straight sicko mode.
And I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't bet it, but if I would have, I was taking the points. And right after I would have bet it, and I would admit to you guys if I did, but right after I would have bet it, Allen lobbed one into the end zone, and it was picked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, there goes that. And I'm not saying they would have covered 11.5. They wound up losing 34-7. And it's a neat, first of all, it was fall weather. It was kind of cool. Oh, yeah. Last year it poured. They couldn't even finish the game. Right. This year it also felt like a weird deal. But, Maddie, I know it's a gong flex, but I'm telling you, it's fun to be there amongst
what I want you to do for us is I want you to go picture by picture, name by name.
Yeah, which people?
Of the men that you were standing side by side with this weekend. And for every
wish I
name
had my phone with me.
He drops, I need a gong. Because AR was in the mix.
All right, so I texted my brother and I said,
your brother.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian.
Yeah. I texted my brother. I said, Warren Moon just came over and gave me like a wink, like saw the bikes. So I texted my brother and the picture of me kind of talking with Warren Moon and then him kind of giving me the, Skull Brother kind of feel.
Finger gun.
And yeah, exactly. And I said, and my brother texts back, he's an Oiler. And I go, well, yeah, but he was with the Vikes in a decent time when I got to Columbus. Like, he was with the Vikes, 94, 95, I think. And he was really good, and we gave him an extension. And I think he broke his collarbone. And I don't know whether that was Brad Johnson time who took over, and they wanted Warren Moon to take like a $4 million pay cut to be the backup, and he didn't. And I go, you can't just erase him from the Vikes. He's like, listen, some guys are known for certain teams. Quit claiming that Warren Moon was a Viking. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it.
It's not like baseball where they put on the hat when they go in.
Yeah. Well, he's right. He's a love you blue. He's a Houston Oiler. I get it. And so that was a good moment. And then later, and this is all thanks to my friends at Sugardale. They are the absolute best, and they just treat us like a Hall of Famer. And I'm a glommer honor. I'm just a tag-along guy. And I'm that guy, right, where the friends are higher up, top shelf guys.
Oh, no, you can't play that card.
So I just kind of slither in.
You just know people who know people.
That's right.
Well, no,
the guy behind the guy behind the guy.
You can't allow that to happen. This is Anthony bleeping Rothman that we're talking. He has Emmys, okay? Right. You're an elite class.
So then all of a sudden, I find myself chatting and hanging out and watching football with Edger and James. And that's, I mean, come on. Yeah. And so that, and by the way, his son plays for UC. I forgot about that. Hoops.
Jizzle.
Yes, his nickname is Jizzle.
That's fire.
And so I'm thinking that if you want to adopt that name, you could go with Matty Jizzle Hayes.
a.k.a. Jizzle.
The Jizzle. We had a pretty good laugh about that. And then, so I go, and by the way, this was early mornings. I'm pretty beat. Like, this was a good weekend. Played golf a couple of times, early mornings.
You weren't feeling great before you got out of here.
And by the way, I did everything I could to make sure this was not going to be ruined. I had on the desk on Thursday.
So what you did is you went to see Dr. Bobby Carpenter, because when you're feeling down and you need a quick
Dr. Feel Good,
that's who you call.
That's his right. He doesn't claim that he'll fix you.
No, he's not going to. He's not going to promise that you're going to feel good
later.
He
just says,
he'll get you going.
I'll get you into the game.
After that,
that's right.
Whatever happens.
After the game, you might go home in an ambulance.
Correct.
So that was awesome. And then I attend a private breakfast. I attend a breakfast early on Friday at the Hall. Sugardale treating their partners and all that. And like I said, I'm a tag-alonger. And so they always surprise with who's going to come in and speak to the group and chat and hang out.
Okay.
And it's a pretty intimate group. It's down in the Wilf room, which makes sense for me. And so last year it was Bettis. They've had a lot of dudes. And this year, right as the breakfast ends, they start announcing. We're starting to guess, like, who could it be? And they're going through the list of the resume. And as soon as they get to running back and all that, and multiple Super Bowl champ and MVP, and I'm thinking, okay, this is top shelf alcohol right here. And Emmitt freaking Smith walks in the room, and couldn't have been nicer. He could not have been a better guy.
I've heard that before. Similar to what you hear about Archie. If you've ever met Archie, it's a similar thing, right? Like, this is the nicest guy you would ever meet and gives you all the time in the world when he probably doesn't need to do that.
No.
Emmitt seems that way, though. He always seems like he's been a happy-go-lucky type of guy anytime I see him doing media, so it's not surprising to hear that. That's great. So you didn't get the Ed Reed experience like I got. You know,
no.
Sometimes you meet guys like that, they blow you off.
No, in fact, it was the other way. It was that good.
It's like Adam Thielen for you in New Orleans, where he couldn't stop saying hi.
Come on over. Hey, like, do I know you? I'm Adam Thielen. Don't you want to talk to me? Oh, so, and I said to Emmitt, I said, you probably owe me a little bit of a thanks.
Oh.
And he goes, what's that for? The great trade robbery. Like, you, Emmitt, Russell Maryland, Darren Woodson. I mean, 3 Super Bowl wins, and how much did we get out of the Herschel Walker? We got Jake Reed in a big 0 Super Bowl win appearances. Actually, 3 Super Bowl wins versus no Super Bowl appearances as at the end of the result of the trade at the end of the 95 season. And so we had a pretty good laugh about that. I forgot whether he said he never played Ohio State, like back in the day, never ran into them. But it was a whirlwind tour. And so it was a good time. He was just as, what's amazing? How tall was he? 5'9"? I don't know. 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
And what I liked hearing from him, because being a Chicago guy, and I said there last week, I told you that there's certain guys that transcend fandom. Like, you don't have to be a fan of that team to really, really like that guy. And Walter Payton was that guy for me, being a Viking fan. And, you know, when he came to the Bears, every kid wanted to jump over the pile into the pile of leaves and go over the top and all that. And he did say that his, like, Tiger Woods had Jack Nicklaus poster on his wall. Like, he wanted to track that record down. And Emmitt said that Walter Payton couldn't have been more of a mentor than, and here's a guy that I'm tracking down his record. So the next day, we started doing the math. Emmitt Smith played, I think, 36 more games than Walter Payton. And Walter Payton was averaging about 90 yards a game. And I don't know at the end he would have done that. But, and Emmitt had the record before he went to Arizona. So it's not like he hung on to just get the record. I mean, he pushed it out a little bit. But we started doing the math, and if Walter would have played the same amount of games and averaged the same amount of yards, he would have had over 20,000 rushing yards. But Emmitt has it, and he played with the triplets, and it was an unbelievable. But he was cool. He was pretty inspiring. So we got to hear him speak, and then obviously the speeches and all the induction, and Jared Allen ripping his pants at the Gold Jacket dinner, trying to do his touchdown or a sack celebration. So there was a lot of cool stuff. And
cool, I was living through you this weekend, and you blessed us when you came back, because I got a new cup here with this beautiful Hall of Fame logo on one side, but that Baltimore Ravens logo on the other side.
It's amazing that you have X-ray vision.
It got a little dicey, though, because AR brought back 3 cups, and we did a little... How do we want to label? We did a blind reveal.
D is the biggest.
And I had the first pick. I had the first pick. I did not know what cup I was picking. I assumed, since you brought back 3, that one of them was Ravens, Vikings, and Steelers. And I was correct in guessing that. But you were making it seem like if I would have picked the Steelers cup,
you have to have that on the studio floor.
Lucky
all
for me,
season long.
The football gods looked after me. The blind reveal led me right to the Ravens cup, baby. So thank you for this. This thing is beautiful.
It's really not a big deal. I figured you didn't want a pair of socks, but
I wouldn't have been mad at that either.
The cool part, if you haven't seen the video, TLC tweeted it out off the page where they were all wrapped. And it wasn't the gift itself. It was the fact that you'd have to live with that if you picked the Steelers all season. And I told you you couldn't hide it at your cubicle.
No, it's
had to be out here. And Maddie went first, 33 1/3% chance, and drafted his Baltimore Ravens, which, by the way, I have to admit, pretty damn good logo.
Strong, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
strong logo, strong colors. Yeah, we're up there at the top, I would say.
Well, you and I are in the purple haze group. I mean, yours is a little more deep purple. Mine's a little more iridescent purple.
Purple haze.
With the Vikes. You are purple haze. So that works.
What's he up to?
That works well. Yes, I don't know if it's in the veins, but it's definitely in the brain. We got a nice show for you today. Bruce Feldman, Fox Sports College Football Freaks List. 12:30, he'll jump on the program. Jake Burns, Browns Film Breakdown at practice. We go to the Steel City for TLC and the boys. Ray Fittipaldo live from Steelers camp at 2:30. Up next, the Freaks List. And how many Buckeyes will live up to it? Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Lenny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream, and once you taste it, you'll know why. Now's the time to grab a UDF peach shake, malt, cone, or sundae. They're only here for a limited time. UDF peach ice cream, made for you.
Stay hydrated, it's hot out there. So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Get too hot?
Hey, my phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. We can help ensure you'll have a reliable income stream in retirement, locking in gains and avoiding downturns in the market. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A fantastic start to the new week with not a lot of humidity and mostly to partly sunny skies. Afternoon highs will be in the mid to low 80s, and then for tonight, we'll get down to the mid 60s overnight with partly cloudy skies. For Tuesday, a small chance of showers and storms in the second half of the day, otherwise partly sunny and highs in the mid to low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sportsbook of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman Ice.
Every year when I'm up in Canton, we have the conversation of how fortunate certain guys are. They're all incredibly talented. And life is about timing and opportunity and getting drafted where you need to be in order to make it and then acquire the stats or the success or the Super Bowls, which tend to put you in. And I'm not saying they're not deserving, but I remember you and I having this conversation a couple years ago, and I was very much against the people that would come down on Hall of Famers. They were voted in like, oh, he doesn't deserve it or this or that. Like, man, that's a tough call. Are there levels of Hall of Famers? I guess.
That's what Deion Sanders wants, right? He said there needs to be a separate room.
He's like Hall of Good versus like the all-time greats. I can't
remember
the dicey game to play.
I can't remember the exact term he used that he wanted, but
a different wing,
something like that, to where he was saying there is a percentage of the guys that are already Hall of Famers that are just a cut above.
It's like you can ride on the plane, but you got to be in coach.
Yeah, you can't come out the first class.
Boy, then
you're really splitting hairs.
I just think
I don't think we need that.
Because all these guys say the same thing when they go in. I can never be cut again. I'm in the fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
The gold jacket is the gold jacket, and there's only been, 375 or whatever there have been in the history of the game. But I know you and I had this conversation. I'm starting to think that here's why I said it. Because just because someone's situation may have helped them, that's part of it. I don't know how you can just parcel out, well, he was lucky. He had the quarterback. He acquired the stats because of the quarterback.
It's all got to be a perfect storm. It really does, right? And for me, like, one of those perfect blends of everything that we're currently watching right now is Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is a Hall of Fame talent, but that's been paired with a Hall of Fame head coach, one of the best offensive minds of his time, and Andy Reid. You get to go into the league and learn from a vet in Alex Smith for, I think, a year or two. And then when you step out there on the field, it's Tyreek Hill's incredible. Travis Kelce's arguably the best tight end of all time. And so all of that blended with, hey, their GM is really good and has made good decisions and brought in young talent. And along the way, what's going to help me win a Super Bowl or two maybe is, hey, I'm going to have an elite defense when our offense really isn't playing at its highest level. So that's what you got to have. You can have a awesome dude, but if he steps into a franchise that doesn't know how to use him or doesn't have the proper talent around him, that guy's not going to be able to shine.
In the same breath, there are guys that have stats upon stats that aren't in, that have been overlooked.
Yeah.
I started talking about Ken Anderson, Bengals quarterback. He may have been one of the more underrated quarterbacks in NFL history. And he threw for a ton of yards, and he was very accurate. And it's very odd that some of these guys, and I looked, who else did I write down? I wrote down Torrey Holt's not in, right?
He should be.
No.
Is he going to get his?
That is an annual complaint from St. Louis people.
So he may be the opposite. He may be one of those guys that I talked about that since he did play with the, quote, greatest show on turf, helping the Rams win a Super Bowl, why would you be holding that against him?
How many of the four are in? Kurt and Marshall? Or Isaac? Torrey's not, but is Isaac in?
Yep.
So Isaac, Marshall, Falk, Orlando.
And Dig for Meal.
Yeah.
But not Torrey.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that you have such a limited amount of people who can get in per year. And so you start to have the positional battles of where it's not just Torrey Holt competing against being one cog in this great machine where every other cog is in the Hall of Fame. It's also him versus Andre Johnson, and who just got in the Hall of Fame. And so it's also him versus Reggie Wayne every year. It's going to be him versus Larry Fitzgerald next year. And so it just keeps on going.
So the same thing. I wouldn't know this. You wouldn't know it. He wouldn't know it. Maybe certain coaches, scouts, people that really know the game would know it. Can you tell me that Clay Matthews is worse than Randy Gradishar? Like, I don't. Of course we can't. Clay Matthews of the Browns was competing with, and I'm talking about Clay Matthews III. I'm talking about Clay Matthews Jr.
Yeah.
And so I'm talking about of the 80s. And like, he got compared to Lawrence Taylor and Mike Singletary. Of course, he was going to probably lose out to those profile guys. But the longevity that he played with, everything about him, played almost 300 games for a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't tell me that he wouldn't deserve to get in. And then it's been so long now, you wonder whether he ever will, or could he be like a Gradishar and get in as like a senior finalist, and then it's just, you live your whole life. I mean, Sterling Sharp was a snub for a while, and now he's in. You can't lead the league in reception 3 times and just be left out.
Right.
And I'm not saying would Sterling Sharp have done? Yes, I think he would have. I think he would have gone anywhere. I think he would have made it. So it's weird. And you can't judge a lot of these guys by stats because the stats have changed. It's a different game. But sometimes it's just, you have to. It's like life. I look at the Hall of Fame now as I don't get too caught up in the snubs, just because I think life can be timing, and it can be who you got drafted to, who were the guys that helped you. When I listened to Emmitt talk, he was incredibly humble on Friday morning about team. He'll go all on and on, Matty, about Moose, about having a fullback like that in the back. He'll go on and on. And I'm sure Walter Payton, would go on and on about Matt Suhey and guys that blocked for him. And so you got to get lucky in life. You got to have the right teammates. You got to have the right platform. You got to have the right machine behind you.
I mean, look at what Brock Purdy's turned his career into. I mean, that's the extreme example. Mr. Irrelevant got drafted by a team that was on a Super Bowl run, or every year thought that they could win a Super Bowl. You play the most important position. You walk into the huddle and you're looking around and you're seeing Christian McCaffrey and you're seeing George Kittle and you're seeing Trent Williams. Those three guys right there might make it into the Hall of Fame. And so you have that. And then a couple years later, we're talking about what? Brock Purdy making $50-something million a year. So it's no doubt luck for some of these guys. But then you have to capitalize on the situation that you're in and go out and perform. And a lot of the guys that we're talking about have done that.
Just feel bad for some of the guys because they just wait and wait and wait. That's life. Everybody can't get in.
No.
But Torrey's getting in at some point. If Drew Pearson is now getting in and Sterling Sharp's now getting in.
Yeah, he'll get in.
I'm wondering if because of, the game is so pass-oriented now.
Yeah, the numbers are going to be sexier for a lot of the guys that are catching up to him.
Steve Smith's not in, is he?
He's going to be an interesting case. He's not in, but I think he will squeak in at some point in time.
I think he will, too.
I think he really helped himself with those years in Baltimore at the end because he really showed that I still have it. Like the Carolina run was incredible.
He was a 1,000-yard receiver in his mid-30s.
That's what I'm saying. Those Baltimore years, I think, really stamped it and brought it home.
And I've got no issue with Eli when he gets in. You do?
Oh, yeah.
Two-time Super Bowl winner, two-time Super Bowl MVP, and made the biggest throws of his life in the biggest games?
He played about
I know his stats would tell you he's a mediocre quarterback.
It's going to be
a 500 quarterback.
It's going to be fascinating.
No one cares about Jim Plunkett not being in the Hall of Fame with 2 Super Bowls.
Because, AR, what you're identifying is what it's all about. What TLC, I think, is leaning into is the body of
Plunkett
work.
Deserved it, yeah.
The body of work for old Eli may not be Hall of Fame worthy.
Eli Manning played 234 plus 12, so that would be 200. So 246 games Eli Manning played. People only talk about 2 of them. You can't. I'm sorry, it can't be like that.
What I think we need to dig in on is maybe the playoff run leading to those Super Bowls and what those games were like for him. And I don't even know if that should be the end all.
4-time Pro Bowl quarterback.
3-time interception leader.
My ultimate tiebreaker is how did you play in the biggest games? And he was the man. I know Tyree caught the ball on his helmet, but he had to get out of that problem.
The
like
ball
that
to
ball,
Manningham
that ball
on the sideline.
The ball to Manningham that drops in a bucket.
It was a dot.
2 games don't make a career.
No,
I agree
it
with
doesn't.
that.
But are you really going to keep him out as a 2-time Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah.
I guess if we let's switch it to another position and another guy rises up and becomes a Super Bowl MVP based off of 2 games. I wouldn't feel like that guy's Hall of Fame
So Malcolm
worthy.
Smith is 1 game away from being a Hall of Famer.
I'm looking at the NFL.
Thank you.
2011 season.
I don't think he's going to get in.
Who,
brother.
Eli?
I don't think he will.
They award dudes for winning the big one.
I know, but we got to have more than that. We have guys that rise up in postseason games and big time moments that we know aren't the star players, and that to me doesn't lean you, I think, into Hall of Fame.
So if Alshon Jeffrey caught that ball against the Saints and Nick Foles somehow went back to back, was Nick Foles a Hall of Famer?
No.
Thank you.
Boy, I understand where you're going.
Thank you.
This is a longer conversation, but I do believe that he just wasn't a Trent Dilfer. I do think he had a lot more than that.
He was better than that.
All right, we come back in 2 minutes. Bruce Feldman, Fox Sports, the Freaks List. And, of course, the penalties pending. We'll ask him all about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text SIZZLE to 369-369. That's SIZZLE to 369-369. SIZZLE to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY, and when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony once ran the table on the World 9-Ball champion. Coincidentally, Maddie is out looking for a magic 8-ball. Signs point to this is Rothman and Ice.
The annual preseason hype, a lot of it is, but a lot of it includes some great stuff. And today's is a great example of that. He's the reporter for The Athletic, Fox Sports, best-selling author, our friend Bruce Feldman, giving us some time today. Bruce, good to have you.
Good to be on with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Happy Freaks List Day. It really is. When you have the drop all the intel on the college football and the top athletes. Let me ask you this. Have you ever how many years have you been doing this?
20. Huh. And it feels like a lot more than that after this week.
How many over the years have surprised you? Have you ever kind of gone back to say, you know what, I nailed that one? Like that guy, maybe people weren't thinking about him and I had him in my top 20, or maybe a guy that popped off and you didn't think about him before the season. Do you ever re-examine the list?
Yeah, quite a bit, just to see how certain guys played out. Also, what I'm really trying to get a better sense of is how accurate do the strength coaches and the stuff they tell me, does it line up? I have a bunch of guys from Penn State this year. If you look at what their athletes have done in recent years from the Freaks list and then what they did in the NFL draft process, it's like they either match the numbers or they even exceed them. So, there's a handful of schools, and it's pretty small, where I'm like, I don't know, I'll take what they say with a little bit with a grain of salt. But usually that's not the case, especially, the school in your town, it's like Mickey's been there for a long time. If he puts a stamp on somebody, it's gold, kind of thing in my mind. So for me, it's really just to kind of checking to see, and I've been doing it for a long time, and a lot of the strength coaches, even if they're not at the same school, they're guys I knew who were at like another school before that, and so it's just a good track record for me to keep.
Bruce, you touched on Coach Marotti, and that's a name that Buckeye fans know well. The Body by Marotti program has gotten a lot of guys right, and one of those guys that has been going through that process, that's number one on your list of freaks this year, is Jeremiah Smith. Just walk us down that path, the people that you talked to, the information that you got to lead him to being number one in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, look, start with this. Not necessarily for the freaks list, but he's the best player in college football. And a lot of the physical traits are a big part of why he is. That's not the only reason why. But you're talking about a guy who's running 23.5 miles per hour. That's blazing fast. I mean, you just don't get guys in college football who are running near 24, and then he's a guy with an 11-foot broad jump. He's also super strong for a receiver. When I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, I said, what's the thing you're most proud of in terms of all these numbers? And he told me it was that he benched 2.25 for 20 reps, because when he first got to Ohio State, as freaky as he was, he said he only did 5 reps. Now, again, for a high school receiver to do 5 reps at 225, that's pretty good, because a lot of times in high school they test you on 185, not 225. So he's a wow all across the board. I remember Chip Kelly telling me stuff about him when they first got here. Remember, he should have still been in high school. He was an early enrollee, and it just kind of blew his mind that somebody that young can be that gifted, that driven, that focused, and all those things. And then we saw it come to fruition on the field because he was spectacular. So he was, I don't want to say it was an easy choice to be number one, because there was the guy who was number one the last 2 years, who was a legit track guy in high school and is 6'5", 245, not the receiver that J.J. Smith is, but what is a freak athlete in his own right, is still at South Carolina. And there's some other guys who are pretty amazing, but just the whole package with Jeremiah Smith was reason enough for me to go, yeah, let's not overthink this. He's the number one freak in college football.
Fox Sports' Bruce Feldman on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bruce, two-pronged question. How many Longhorns made the list based on it being the opener against Ohio State? And what program maybe surprised you that didn't have a lot on your list, which you thought might?
There's one Longhorn. He is an offensive tackle who is 6'7", 315, who can do 360 dunks, and really elite athlete. Ryan Wingo's another guy, a receiver, who I know a lot of your fans have heard about because he was a big recruit, and I think with Arch there, they expect him to take a big step forward. He's another guy who there was certainly consideration for. The one that I think probably would surprise is Georgia. When I asked them, who do you got? They had an offensive lineman who's super strong, but not, in years past, I probably had 4 or 5 Georgia players. Doesn't mean the program is falling off. There's a couple of guys who are in the program now who I think were Zachariah Branch, I think was a freaks list guy 2 years ago when he was at USC. So they're definitely freaky athlete guys, but just not quite as many as you would expect, at least from the staff I talked to there.
Bruce, at number 2, you have Caden Proctor, who is down there in the trenches for Alabama, offensive lineman for Kalen DeBoer. Just talk about him a little bit, but maybe more importantly, your feel on Kalen DeBoer going into year 2, following Nick Saban and trying to fill those massive shoes.
Yeah, Proctor, massive left tackle, 6'7", 366 pounds. Benches 535, squats 815. But the numbers that really blew my mind when they told me about it was he vertical jumped 32 inches and he broad jumped 9'3". And the 32-inch vert, which is nuts to me because that was as much or more than 5 of their wide receivers who were at this year's NFL Combine. LeJontay Wester, who was a good receiver at Colorado, jumped the same as 366 Caden Proctor. And Caden Proctor weighs 203 pounds more than him. It's just like you should not be able to move at that size. The question for DeBoer, last year defensively, he gave up 40 points and lose at Vandy. There was some good and probably a little more bad than I think Alabama fans were used to in the transition year. I think it helps DeBoer a lot and should help their offense that his OC and a longtime protege of his, Ryan Grubb, who was with him when they played Michigan for the national title and had that prolific offense at Washington. He's back after 1 year as an OC in the NFL. I think that will help a lot. Ty Simpson is a really good, sharp quarterback who I think is accurate. And look, they have 3 freaks list offensive linemen. I've never had that before. They should be good up front. I think they'll be good in the trenches. The question to me is, how well does Simpson execute, but also is it going to look like an Alabama defense again? It didn't last year. I mean, they lost a couple of NFL high draft pick cornerbacks, and the best player in the secondary, who now plays for the Buckeyes, was, he was there as a freshman, Caleb Downs. So they had a lot to replace. I think they'll be better this year, even with a new starting quarterback without Jalen Milroe, who was really up and down last year. I think the Tide will be better. They have to be, because I think right now pressure is definitely mounting on Kalen DeBoer, just because if you're Alabama, you're like, wait, we didn't make the playoff. It's a 12-team playoff. I think they will this year, but, you got to prove it on the field.
Bruce, in our final minute, give me a little bit on the rival, on Michigan. How many of the guys made your freaks list? And then also, what are they bracing for, if anything? I know they got the Big Ten kind of going to bat for them, like, let's move along. No more to see here. I assume they can't appeal anything more for their head coach, trying to push this off to another season. I know Michigan obviously wants to just end it on their own self-reporting stuff, but who's on your list from Michigan, and what should they be bracing for when the Connor Stallions scandal finally gets put to bed?
They have two guys this year. They've had a few more in the past. This year, it's another tight end, Marlon Klein. Both players actually are former European athletes who have really blossomed in Ann Arbor. One's a D lineman, the other one's a tight end. I think the biggest thing was the offense was so bad for them last year. Bryce Underwood, obviously the number one quarterback recruit in the country. He's in Ann Arbor, local kid who's very talented. How much better can they be on offense? Because they can't be any worse than they were last year. As far as the NCAA case, man, I don't know what to expect, because it's dragged on for a while, and it feels like that Tony Batiti and the Big Ten it seem like they definitely have their back. I don't know if you're the NCAA at this point going, who's still around? Sharon Moore's still here, but that's about it. And I just don't know how much more they end up doing about this, because right now it just seems like the NCAA has so many other, that expression is just so much fish to fry at this point with all the other stuff that's swirling around the sport. I feel like they almost want to be like, hey, let's just be done with this. This is an ugly thing. We're not gonna make it right in anybody's eyes. So let's just deal with the suspension if it is the way it has been reported. Because I know there's been a little bit of back and forth on how accurate that was. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I wouldn't hold your breath for any hefty punishment beyond what because they did sit Harbaugh for 3 games in the year they won the national title. So it's just it's kind of vintage NCAA, where it just it just seems like they can't get it right no matter which way they turn.
It's his annual Freaks List. Been doing it for 20 years. On The Athletic, NewYorkTimes.com, and he's our friend Bruce Feldman. It's not just a list. He's not just putting names and listing 1 to 100. There's a great synopsis on every guy, real insight, people on the inside of these programs talking about their players. Bruce, great job, man. Thanks for jumping on.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it. Bruce Feldman on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. It's Monday. We do Party Like a Roth Star next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot, and not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Swimming in debt? Save your summer with a debt consolidation loan from BMI Federal Credit Union. With rates as low as 8.99% APR, now is the perfect time to consolidate your debt. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate for more details.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the luncheon mart. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward, and I'm coming up on 2 full years since starting Awaken 180. Dropped 50 pounds, and I still check the scale like it owes me money. Guess what? Hasn't budged. Still under 200 pounds, still feeling great. Keeping weight off this long isn't luck or magic, it's just having the right playbook. Awaken 180 taught me exactly what works, what doesn't, and how to stay lean without the struggle. Want real, lasting results? Don't just drop the weight, retire it for good. Trust me, Awaken 180 is your winning game plan. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU football insiders. You know it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Want to know anything about the fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Roth star.
Oh, so many to choose from, Maddie. Why don't you lead us off?
I am going to start with a head coach in the world of college football. And I'm talking about Matt Campbell, Iowa State's head coach. This weekend, Matt Campbell signed a new contract extension that will go through 2032. He's going to make about $5 million per year. This guy's been a steady hand up there in the Cyclones land, man, because they're a respectable program. And I think a lot of that has to do with Matt Campbell. A lot of times when big-time openings have popped up over the last few years, people are like, hey, is this time for Matt Campbell to come on up to kind of the big leagues, if you will? He is saying, I am good where I'm at. He's getting paid handsomely now. And there's even reports out there from the weekend that, you know, he left a little money on the table. That way that NIL can stay nice and have some nice flow to it. They can get good players and keep good players as well. But he's been Big 12 Coach of the Year 3 times. Iowa State was in the Big 12 title game last year. They finished the year ranked 15th. And he's going into his 10th year at Iowa State and has won a school record 64 games during that run. He's coached up some talented guys as well. Breece Hall, Brock Purdy, Will McDonald was a first-round pick. And just in the last draft we just had, 2 wide receivers going in the 2nd and 3rd rounds to the Houston Texans by the name of Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. So Matt Campbell doing his thing over there at Iowa State. He's partying like a rock star.
I saw this on the weekend. I always like to include a golfer, Cameron Young. I think we had him on the show years ago at Memorial because he did all the MLB endorsements.
Yeah.
And Matty, the guy's been a bridesmaid 7 times. He's come in 2nd place on tour 7 times. And he's a Wake Forest grad. He was playing in Carolina, so it all fit. Destroyed the early part of the tournament. Usually when you fire 63-62, it's very difficult to follow that up, but he did with a 65 and a 68. 6-shot victory. The cool part about it is the fact that it's his very first PGA Tour win. His dad was there, wants the chance for the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black, where I think he won as an amateur. So 94 events, 7 runner-ups, 12 top 5s, didn't have a win, got it, and he became the 1,000th unique winner on tour. So aside from the $1.5 million he gets for the victory, Cameron Young finally gets that winner's circle feel, and he had a great soundbite. So after he tapped in, and he had, like I said, he won by 6, so there was no pressure on the final few holes, but he said, what do I do now? I've never been here before. Well, what you do now is you stick around, have Amanda Balionis interview you for a while, and then
pop some bottles.
Go sign a scorecard correctly and get your big Happy Gilmore check. So Cameron Young, party like a rock star.
That's cool. That's cool. Second candidate for me, the Philadelphia Phillies pitching staff ranks 2nd in strikeouts and 1st in quality starts. A reason why that has happened to this point is because Christopher Sanchez is built different. This guy's about 6'7", throws from the left side, long and lanky out there on the mound, looking like Randy Johnson at times. If you don't know him, you better tap in because this dude may be the future for Philadelphia every 5th day. In the month, real quick, before I get to July, last night, Sunday Night Baseball against the 5th best team in the league, and the Detroit Tigers, 8 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. In the month of July, the man cooked up a 1.95 ERA in 5 starts and pitched into the 7th inning in every outing. He ranks 10th in all of Major League Baseball in wins and strikeouts and 5th in ERA. Christopher Sanchez for the Fightin' Phils, partying like a Rasta.
All right. Before the season, I didn't know one Miami Marlin. It felt like they traded everybody away, including Jazz Chisholm Jr. and Josh Bell and Brian De La Cruz. And they went for potential and younger. And they were probably in the bottom 3 or 4 teams in MLB going in. Did they just sweep the Yankees?
That happened.
For the first time in their history. And the Yanks were had a 7-game lead not long ago, and now they're sub 500 for a while, and they're in trouble. And the Miami Marlins, who are 6-game back of the Pods that you mentioned for National League wildcard spot, they went into Sunday with a 1% chance of reaching the playoffs. The Miami Marlins, out of nowhere, I'm going to pull up the standings real fast on them. It feels like they are the story now. They've won 5 in a row, 8 of their last 10. They're 500. I'm pretty sure that the Miami Marlins, I don't think any team has ever made the playoffs being 16 games below 500 at any point in the season. I mean, there may be one 50, 60 years ago. They were 16 games below 500. They're a 500 team right now. And so Miami Marlins sweeping the Yanks and having a chance of this thing is out of nowhere stuff. Party like a Roth star.
Good stuff. And that's party for this week. Fellas, some common frustrations I hear from you sometimes. Matty Ice, I don't have it anymore. Well, let's change that. Get on over to the Columbus Men's Clinic, because if you've been feeling tired and sluggish, doesn't have to be that way any longer. Low energy and performance issues are not inevitable. Solutions exist, and that's why going to the Columbus Men's Clinic, where there's no guesswork, no gimmicks, just real science and effective treatments, is exactly what you need to do. All of this is affordable. It's accessible. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. I did it a few months ago. I felt great. I walked out of there with a lot of confidence because I knew the Columbus Men's Clinic will take care of me in the future as they have since I left the building. Act now. You only get one life. Procrastination can only make all of this worse. So call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Again, that's 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com.
All right, coming up top of the hour, who are the coaches putting the most pressure on to start the season? They've dropped their poll, and the heavyweight battle is on. It almost feels like the narrative was set. It didn't matter. Yep. Now, this isn't committee stuff. This is straight coaches poll, but you'll hear it next because one team that I thought would be there is not. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
When it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at hinderermotorcompany.com.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Win big at Eldorado Scioto Downs, your Caesars Rewards hotspot. Play over 1,700 hot games. Sip craft brews at Brew Brothers. And dine at Guy Fieri's Trattoria with its famous 68-layer lasagna. Enjoy live music at Vail Bar and harness racing now through September. Experience nonstop thrills where rewards never stop.
Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without groaning step by step? Hey, that was me. And I had to deal with that for all the years of playing football. But I went and saw my friends over at QC Kinetics, and it disappeared. I didn't have to tough it out anymore. Call over QC Kinetics with Dr. Wolkoff and get your free consultation. It's regenerative medicine, folks. There are thousands of patients who will tell you that they wish they would have done it sooner, just like I did. I'm glad I did, and my experience was tremendous. You go in, you have a consult, they lay out the plan, they talk about it. It's no pills, it's no scalpels. It's just your own body's biologics treating you and helping heal you. So find out if you're a good candidate. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices all around Central Ohio, so be sure to go and check them out.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of my favorite things, Wilson, is the look on people's faces when they see the end price for Pella windows.
Yeah, I'm always hearing, does it look like I'm wearing my money breeches?
More like, I can't believe we get the Pella look and quality at these prices.
Oh, you went the other way with that. You're hearing good things. Oh, this is awkward.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Jacob Reimer. We are inside a month away from Ohio State and Texas kicking off in the shoe. We are so close that USA Today has released their preseason coaches poll, and the Longhorns and Buckeyes sit 1 and 2 at the top of the poll. Texas beat out Ohio State with 28 first-place votes. The Buckeyes received 20 first-place votes. 26 days until they meet in Ohio Stadium. In baseball, the Cincinnati Reds begin a big series tonight at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. Nick Lodolo will take the mound with an 8:05 first pitch. Cincinnati currently sits 4 games back of a wild card spot in the National League. The Cleveland Guardians are also on the road beginning a series tonight in Queens, New York, visiting the Mets. Slade Ciccone will get the start for Cleveland. They get started at 7:10. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Matty was a big Browns fan. Scratch that, we mean he's a big fan of the former Browns. Oh, yeah? The Baltimore Ravens. This is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. Jake Burns, Browns Film Breakdown 130. As we get into a little bit of the college football hype, that is the coaches poll. It has dropped today, not long ago. The one team that I thought that they would buy into just from a preseason, you don't have to judge results yet. You're just talking about roster, what they have coming back, what they did last year. This isn't about narratives or how much you trust a coach. Yeah. Like, I don't think whoever votes in whoever these coaches are that have their guys. I mean, a preseason poll, they have time to do this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume, Maddie, that the coaches actually said, okay. And it's all political, too, because if you're playing one of those teams, you want them voted pretty highly. But the fact that Penn State did not land in the first or second spot, and instead it's Texas and Ohio State, I always thought that whoever won that game was going to be number one anyway, no matter where they were in the top 5 or 6. Who's Clemson playing? LSU?
LSU. That would be the nightcap on ABC August 3rd.
Well, now the winner can't be number one.
No. Real quick, Aaron, let me just run down the top 25. Yeah. Coaches poll, fresh right now. You've got number 1, Texas, 2, Ohio State, Penn State at 3, Georgia 4, Notre Dame rounds out your top 5. 6 through 10, Clemson, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, Miami. 11 through 15 is Arizona State. Illinois.
All right, Levitt's still there.
Yeah. Sammy.
Yeah, he's a dude. And they got Tyson's a receiver out there that he can go.
He got a lot coming back.
He's special. So, and their head coach is amazing. But 11 through 15, Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, Ole Miss. 16 through 20 is SMU, Florida, Tennessee, Indiana, Kansas State, and rounding out the rest of the top 25. 21 through 25 is Texas A&M, Iowa State, BYU, Texas Tech, and Boise State. So there's your coaches poll top 25, first one of the year.
All right, so let's attack this top 10 and see who's a little lower or higher than they should be.
I'll tell you where I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Georgia is ahead of Clemson based off of the energy and the hype that's out there around the Clemson Tigers with what they have at quarterback coming back in K. Klubnik. Everybody really likes their wide receiver room. They've got dudes on the defensive line in that linebacking room that people think are going to be NFL caliber guys that could get selected in the first rounds. I'm just curious what we're getting from Georgia at quarterback.
Gunnar Stockton?
Yes. That to me is a massive question mark that I thought would have had them slightly behind Clemson and what they're
he's got
returning.
so many guys to throw to. It's probably he's getting a little bit of the I don't know. I mean, Julian or Lincoln's going to have JJ and Carnell Tate, and you could make maybe the same analogy or accusation against Ohio State. Okay, unproven quarterback. Why would they be, other than being the champs and not having everything coming back? They were voted 2.
But in the same way, Texas is ahead of them because I think of the quarterback thing, because of Arch.
They probably feel a little stronger about.
I'm splitting hairs. That's just the one thing that jumped out to me is that Clemson was behind Georgia right now.
I think it's a great point. I think most of us were high on Clemson coming in. Dabo finally opened up the transfer revolving door.
Yeah, man.
Finally said, okay, let's do it. Finally got some guys in there.
I want to see what Vegas thinks while you're rolling through that area.
Clemson also has a little bit of their back vibe.
And an easier schedule.
Yeah. So there's some hype there.
They got to go through the ACC versus what Georgia's got to roll through.
Where did you say they had Clemson?
They have Clemson at 6 and Georgia at 4. So that's what I'm saying. Nothing crazy.
Georgia's a little high. They are.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who I would put over them right now. Where's LSU?
LSU, my friend, is coming in at 9.
Yeah. I think it's a hair. I think I would move LSU ahead of Georgia.
You can put the team right behind Georgia, who beat them in the playoffs last year, right above them. Thank you very much.
So Vegas agrees with the coaches. Georgia's plus 750 to win it all. Clemson's 11-1.
Where's Notre Dame?
Notre Dame is 14-1.
Where are they on the coaches poll right now? I think that's right.
We're not below Georgia. Thank you very much.
And you have Penn State at 3, you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's pretty good for Penn State to not be 1.
Well,
I thought
that.
they would just.
You got that from the coaches, but then you've got a guy in Joel Klatt on his show, I believe, this morning that rolled out his personal top 25, and here's what he had to say about Penn State.
I'm huge on blueprints, folks. You know this. And in the last 2 years, we have seen the blueprint that goes out there and wins the national championship. That is an experienced team with an experienced quarterback with a lot of guys that come back. They spurn the NFL. They come back. There's a chip on their shoulder. There's a tough loss in their rearview mirror. And they go out there, they right the ship, and they get it done. That's Penn State. You've got quarterback Drew Aller returning. Both running backs, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, back. 4 guys on the offensive line, back. You've got defensive players all over, including Denai Dennis Sutton, back. I love that. They brought in Jim Knowles at defensive coordinator. Now Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, is going to be at year 2. They brought in 3 wide receivers. This was their major problem last year, is that their wide receivers were not close to good enough. They brought in 3 of them. They're all going to be solid.
And in his
all going to be solid. Okay,
real quick, AR. In his poll, he had Penn State number 1 in the country.
On paper, he's not wrong. If they lean into that running game, those 2 guys, this is the exact. You know what he's doing? He's playing the playbook of Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah,
I'm going to lean in to the teams with the everybody staying headliner, and where you have this buy-in and all-in. What he's missing is, and he wouldn't know this, nobody does, how much of last year can help them get over the we can't be trusted in the big game moments, because they had one at the end of that game. And I didn't come in here and crush them for playing aggressive. I crushed Aller for making that horrendous decision of throwing back over the middle, but I don't think anyone was faulting them for going for the win late against Notre Dame.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, this is what they are. On paper, they could easily be tabbed the number 1 team in the nation. They have a returning quarterback who's probably maybe not as bad as everyone says he is, but he's probably not as good as everybody claims he can be. I thought he ran really well against Ohio State. I thought I came in here after that game and I thought the Drew Aller played pretty well. He's an athlete, and he hurt Ohio State early with his legs. The interception at halftime really wasn't his fault, and it was a close game, and he could have won it, and that may have changed the entire narrative. But they didn't have to beat a big boy in the playoff, and now he gets tab number 3 by the coaches, and it's probably perfect. He can sell to his guys, look at this. They've got Ohio State and Texas above us. Let's go prove it. We're playing Ohio State this year and all that. Got to go to Columbus and win the game. But he talked about the USC, the trio of transfers, the USC, the Troy, the kid from Troy, and the other kid from Syracuse.
Trevor Pena's from Syracuse, and the guy from USC is Kyron Hudson, who was 4th on their team in receiving yards a year ago. What made my ears perk up when I was listening to what Klatt was saying was when he talked about what they have down in the trenches on the offensive line. That's a massive deal. Like whenever teams are restarting in a new year and they have 3 offensive linemen coming back with a quarterback with experience behind it as well, like that's a great place to begin. Now, they're on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to have to adjust to a new defensive coordinator and a new system, so we'll see how quickly they can get adjusted to what Jim Knowles wants to do over there. But what's going to help Penn State this year is their schedule. I mean, you're talking about 3 games going into their matchup against Oregon, where it's Nevada, Florida International, and Villanova. And so Oregon has to come to you. Yes, you go to Ohio State, or they come to Ohio State on November 1st. But outside of that, I mean, you're looking at their schedule, that being Penn State, and it's road games, and it's Iowa, UCLA, Michigan State, and Rutgers. So they should be able to clean up, around the Oregon and Ohio State game. And if you do that, they're going to find themselves in prime position to be, I think, right where they want to be going into the playoff.
Georgia at 4. I agree with you. That's the one that jumps out.
They beat Texas twice last year.
We know the talent is down there. We do. At the most important position, do they have a difference maker? They may not need that. With the way Kirby Smart runs things, with the way their defense is usually stout more times than not, just haven't heard a lot of buzz around the Bulldogs this offseason, and they may like it that way. We're going to have to get somebody on from who covers Georgia to kind of break down what Kirby Smart and the Dogs are really bringing to the field on Saturday.
Where'd they have Miami?
Miami's 10.
I think that's accurate. It's a Carson Beck show, right?
Yes. Big prove-it year for him.
They went crazy in the portal, too. Mario is all over that. They've added dudes. It's so tough to keep track. And you said Bama was
8.
It's a hair high. Just a hair.
It's funny. It's interesting for me, AR, is that you have the 2 powerhouses in the SEC in both Georgia and Alabama, to where I don't know if there's a real feel for anybody as far as what they're going to be this year. A lot of times you look at those programs and you're like, we know what's coming. We know what's coming. There was that vibe last year when they had Carson Beck leading the charge, and he was kind of the preseason number 1 quarterback going into the year, that type of guy. Injuries and bad play for him obviously led Georgia down a bad path until they found themselves in the playoff. But where their standard is, it didn't feel that way. And so for Bama and Georgia, that's where they're kind of in a gray area for me. Like LSU and Texas, those teams for the SEC, for me, have been kind of the crown jewel of the offseason this year. But clearly the coaches are respecting what Kirby and Kalen DeBoer have in their locker rooms, having Georgia at 4 and Bama at 8.
Be curious to see where Auburn was not ranked, correct?
They were not.
Yeah. I think they may crash that party a little bit. They seem to be fairly improved on paper. And they're out of sight, out of mind as well.
How real is that 18 going to be next to Tennessee's name with Nico no longer there? Josh Heupel has got a chance to really, really win, maybe coach of the year in the minds of a lot of people. If he can have Tennessee in the mix in that conference without a guy that was pretty darn good for him a year ago.
All right, we come back. Should the Cowboys do the unthinkable? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Common Man here. I want to tell you about my guy, Bob Capace, owner-operator of Worthington Jewelers for the past 25 years. If your only experience is going to the mall for jewelry, Bob and his team will blow you away. Service, quality, and a great price. The store is busy all the time because people keep coming back. True story. My 8-year-old daughter says to me, "When can we go see Mr. Capace again? He's nice." Yes, he's nice. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, our full line of Tyson Fresh Chicken is on sale. Select varieties or buy one, get one free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Mira, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
I hope you're ready for all the Jackets talk you can handle. Join us Wednesday night at 7 for the Inside Edge.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida. Discover the real Florida magic at visitcentralflorida.com.
The Fan.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A fantastic start to the new week with not a lot of humidity and mostly to partly sunny skies. Afternoon highs will be in the mid to low 80s, and then for tonight, we'll get down to the mid 60s overnight with partly cloudy skies. For Tuesday, a small chance of showers and storms in the second half of the day, otherwise partly sunny and highs in the mid to low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, kids. Anthony once did magic for birthday parties. See, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound so bad. Back to Rothman and Ice.
All right, Jake Burns, Browns Film Breakdown 1:30. We'll get eyeballs on practice. Guys, I just want to mention about Low T Center again. You don't have to live with getting by and just toughing it out, lacking the energy you want and need to enjoy everyday life. Been telling you about it for years. It's really important to find out if TRT is the answer you've been looking for, testosterone replacement therapy. Low T Center has been doing this for thousands upon thousands of men with personalized care. And now, believe it or not, they're introducing women's services to all their Low T centers. And that's exactly right. You heard me correctly. Women can enjoy the same life-changing, medically guided hormone therapy at Low T Center. And so if there's a woman in your life or a partner that is experiencing that moodiness, fatigue, feeling off, not feeling like they're enjoying life, she can benefit from hormone therapy at Low T Center. They are really doing excellent work in this area, and you can help yourself and her get back to feeling your best. And you still have time. Take that T-test. Find out where you land on the scale. Get started today with the people you trust, the expert you trust at Low T Center. Visit fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com for more information. And more importantly, just schedule your appointment and take the test and find out if this is what you've been looking for. Fixmylowt.com. Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones getting after each other. Shefty has told us this is not your typical Jerry just trying to drum up some hype so right before the season he can swoop in and pick up the check at dinner. This is a different deal. And I started thinking about, because I've said before that Jerry Jones, being 82 years old, and he'll be 83 during the season, that he's not in the, let's look to the future mode. I don't think he ever really has been. And he's picked up some pretty big tabs over the years to keep them America's team and to keep them in the fight. You know, signed Dak basically in a hospital room. And it's one of those deals where I'm wondering if he is just playing the PR game, Maddie, and trying to maybe look to the future.
In what way?
Trade Micah.
Come on.
And get all these picks, enough ammo to compete for an Arch Manning next year. And to go
Dak.
that. I know he does. I don't know what he's doing.
That'd be wild if that's his.
Odd, and I don't think it's the case.
It better not be.
And he's touting it more of that he doesn't like negotiating with these agents because they burned him in the past. There was a story today on that he was saying that when I had to work a deal with Dez and deal with Jay-Z, that it all went south because the agent stopped taking my calls and all that. And that's why he doesn't want to deal with Micah's agent. He just wants to deal with Micah.
That's not how it works, though.
Not at that level.
No, it's not how it works.
This guy hasn't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. He hasn't played an NFC title game in forever.
It's got to be Jerry and the agent doing business. I mean, it's very rare that we've seen in the history of the league guys representing themselves. And then sometimes you look at the guys that have represented themselves and you look at the deals that they've got done and it's like, maybe you needed an agent. And so for Jerry right now, this is just wild to me. I don't know what the holdup is because this is a guy that is an absolute monster, that being Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons and Reggie White are the only defensive players to total at least 12 sacks in each of their first 4 seasons in the NFL. It's the type of talent that you have, who is right there at the beginning of his prime, going into what will be his prime. And you've got a team that, if the defense can pair with what I think is going to be an explosive offense, especially through the air, then you're really talking about making life difficult for the Philadelphia Eagles in your division and the Commanders in your division. That's another part of this, too. It's like it's a little bit of the keeping up with the Joneses now, no pun intended, with Dallas and what's going on in their division. And so now you have guys in the locker room that are looking at Jerry Jones sideways because CeeDee Lamb's tweeting out, "This never fails, dog. Just pay the man what you owe him. No need for the extracurricular." It's one of the faces of the franchise right now that's tweeting that out. Yeah. And there were other guys, in that locker room that followed suit, changing their profile pictures to Micah Parsons online. And so that's why that's another angle of negotiating too, is that when you have ownership that tries to really dig in for whatever reason, and in this case, I have no idea what the reason is, that it can upset the team chemistry just a little bit. They've got time to figure it out in the same way they did last year with Dak, where he signed his deal the day of the Cleveland Browns game, the season opener. So I think we'll get to that, AR, but the games and just the back and forth through the media, it's just a waste of everybody's time because Jerry's going to end up paying him anyway, I think.
He likes this. and he's willing to take the hit for it. And that maybe I'm probably overthinking it because I always thought that was him. All I care about is being in the headlines, being talked about, being on the radio, doing my thing. Everybody comes to Big Jerry to take care of the bill.
Yeah. And
everybody knows that if he would have done it sooner and trusted his eyeballs and everybody else, if they think Mike is a character guy, then they should have paid him. He was eligible for extension at the end of the 23 season. So if you do the math on this, from January 24 through January 25, the numbers didn't really change on what the offer might have looked like. So the highest paid non-quarterback was Nick Bosa, who was making $34 million a year. Justin Jefferson swoops in last summer and gets $35 million a year. And then Max Crosby came in earlier this year with a 3-year extension worth about $35.5 million. So they basically just paid him more than JJ. They just said, all right, because the next guy is like, okay, make me the top guy. So the Cowboys, if they had gotten a deal done between January 24 and this past March, they probably could have gotten him under contract for $36 or $37 million a year, right? Because that would have been it. And that puts him ahead of Bosa as the highest paid pass rusher and above JJ as the highest paid non-quarterback. So if he ends up getting, if your prediction is true and he ends up becoming the next guy, 4 years, $175, whatever, that's $43 million a year.
That's the deal you got to get done because
at 37 over 4, they saved $20 million.
Right. And so when they waited, it was the deals that you talked about, but it was also 2 deals in the AFC North that got done with elite pass rushers this offseason. Myles Garrett gets $40 a year. TJ Watt at 31 years old gets $41 million a year. So now the price has gone up even more for a guy that, what's Micah, 26? And so he's looking at the market and saying, okay, that's fine. I know how good I am. I'm elite, and guys that are 5-6 years older than me are now making $40 million a year. So my numbers got to start at least 42.
That's what I said, right? Now, Prescott was different. No tag, no trade. Like, that would have been tough. He had a lot of leverage that CD didn't have and the Micah does not have. So all that Prescott drama that started during COVID when he was hit with the tag for the first time and but Dak was also one of those guys that, boy, is he really what they think he is? He's better than what they have. He's better than most.
And he's better than what you can go find.
Yeah,
if you don't pay him. That's the same thing for Micah.
The NFL plays, especially teams like Dallas. I've always I struggle with this. I struggle with that Jerry Jones. I've said this before on the program. We think that these owners who have the ultimate toy in all the world, they own a professional sports team, that all they want to do is win.
That ain't true.
All they want to do is make money. Yeah. I look at the Browns similarly in that you could almost applaud the Browns for doing what they did in the draft. All right, let's not take Travis Hunter. Let's hope he doesn't become a Hall of Famer, so we have to relive that all the time. But let's just do what we can to try to lean into a better quarterback draft. Let's open up Brooke Parkin style, and let's suck up a bad year. Guess what Haslam probably asks in his meetings or to his top financial people? We still making money this year? We're going to make money this year. How are we going to do that? All right, here's how you do it. Pay Myles Garrett. That'll satisfy the PR part of it. Don't lose Myles. Big fan favorite, one of the best. But let's lean into this. Let's not go all in on an average quarterback, and let's set ourselves up. We got Brook Park coming, and let's try to stockpile some stuff. So what if we're a 4-win football team? They're used to that. But just make sure we don't gut the whole thing so we just lose our fans completely.
And you can dangle a little bit of that, hey, we got some good future candy if you go for next year because of that trade that you're talking about and getting the extra first-round pick with Jacksonville and the pick that you made this year in their minds. I think it's going to open things up for their best player, Myles Garrett, when you bring in a guy in Mason Graham who is going to garner a nice amount of attention on the D-line. That's the hope. And so that's what they're selling. Dallas, I don't know what this is.
History,
it's a waste of everybody's time.
History tells us that Jerry will swoop in
and bend the knee,
pick up the big check to
Correct.
say, I have the most money.
They're not going to
and I'm willing to spend it.
They're not going to trade him. That's Micah playing the game. That's what you have to do.
Now, Jerry could get on the phone to everybody and say, best and final, let us know, and make it look like he might, and see how tempting it is. See if somebody comes with something. Bears, somebody just comes over the top.
And great, and piss off Micah even more.
Well, you wouldn't care. He'd be gone.
Yeah, but why
if you're willing to actually trade him?
Why would you want to get rid of Micah Parsons? That doesn't make any sense to me. He's an amazing player. Pay the man.
I'm with you that he's a
forward.
proven commodity.
Yeah.
And at a very important position.
Yep.
2 minutes, we come back with Jake Burns, and we'll find out about the Browns and their quarterback circus. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
The roof of your home protects what matters most in your life. Your family, your memories, your peace of mind. So when it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy on why she chose Newman Roofing over all the rest.
We had interviewed and talked with several other roofing companies around the city. The salesperson that came to speak with us was extremely knowledgeable, answered questions, took his time with us. We were happy to make Newman our choice.
And you'll have peace of mind knowing that on the day of the installation, we'll give you and your home the respect it deserves.
The guys arrived right on time. The crew leader came and talked with us, let us know what they were going to be doing. He was here all day with the crew. That itself was very impressive.
If you're thinking about your roofing or siding, give Newman Roofing a call today.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony once got Jack Nicklaus to quote the movie Caddyshack, so he's got that going for him.
The last time I saw a mouth like that, I had a hook.
Which is nice. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Let's go while we're young.
Biggest question mark up in Cleveland, who should they want to start? That may be different from the fans to the ownership to the coaches, all of that. Now, that's different than asking the question, who's earned the right to start, than who they should want to. And our friend Jake Burns, Browns Film Breakdown, nice enough to spend a few minutes away from practice for us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Jake, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
I just saw ESPN was running down like the practice tracker on stats of all the quarterbacks. Where do you stand on kind of like buying into what's happening here? How do you look at it? Like if you were asking or commenting on who's had the best camp so far, what would your answer be?
Well, I think if you just look at those stat trackers, it's pretty misleading for, I mean, all of the nuance. I mean, kind of the whole point of what I do is trying to explain the nuance, and that's just the most simplistic way. It's like a baseline batting average, right? But they don't even include yards and stuff. And then there's some sessions that are certainly tilted towards, like 7-on-7 is tilted toward the offense, and then some sessions are pretty friendly for the defense because they know that they're not running the ball during that session. It's just super misleading. What it is good to show is like how many reps are guys getting in general, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, up here, the two young guys that they have wanted, maybe folks in the fandom world have wanted to take the reins. You know, it's very uncommon for a 3rd and 5th round pick to have those opportunities arise so quickly. So it has certainly looked like a 3rd and 5th round pick up here. I mean, like, Dylan is getting reps with the first team at times, second team predominantly, and it shows that he's young in terms of like the NFL world and figuring all of that out. So he has had ups and downs, more downs than ups, and Shedeur has had not as many opportunities with the first group, and that's for people to, sort of decipher how they want, but there's usually a tell there that the team doesn't think he's ready for that mental or physical burden quite yet. But he's had moments too, but there's also been moments that indicate why he wouldn't be ready. So it's a Joe Flacco situation. I think he's going to be the guy to start the year. It's a difficult schedule to start the year, and I think that's probably the safest place to go, especially with Kenny Pickett being sidelined for as long as he has. So I think it's Joe Flacco, who's been okay. Good moments, bad moments, more good than bad, though, and that's certainly in a situation like this is just kind of what you're looking for, is a guy who can be a professional, navigate the offense, and deliver the football more often than not.
One guy that I think has a pretty significant amount of pressure on him is a former Buckeye in DeJuan Jones, Jake. And I just want to ask you about what you've seen from DeJuan down there at left tackle. I know, the body has been a focal point with him trying to be in better conditioning and all of that. But DeJuan Jones right now at this point of the calendar, how are you feeling about his progress and, more importantly, where you think he will be come the start of the season?
Well, he certainly learned the lesson you wanted him to learn, right? Which is like, hey, I had an injury my rookie year. I probably didn't get in the shape I needed to for various reasons, and it bit him. It certainly came back to show in his second-year performance. So you do, like you mentioned there, the body change is very real. He looks much better carrying the weight, healthier, which I think will help the knees and the ankles and all of that in action. So that's nice. I mean, it's tough because, this is going to be kind of sort of esoteric to where we are. They practice going north, which we're sitting on the east side of the state. So it's hard to see the left tackle. And he's going against Myles Garrett, which is hard. They're not going to scheme up a bunch of help for him in practice in terms of chipping for tight ends and stuff. So Myles gets the best of him a decent amount, but Myles gets the best of everybody. I don't care if you're him or, Tristan Wirfs. He handles everybody. He's an alien. So it's good that he gets to go up against Myles. I think he'll be better prepared for taking left tackle snaps this year than he was last year. He looks physically better. And when Myles has missed a practice or they give him the day off, he's certainly held his own in that regard. And I think he's just in a better physical, mental place to handle the opportunity this year.
Jake Burns with us as we do the Browns film breakdown with him. All right, who's ever at quarterback, talk to me about the weapons. Where's this roster stand? What do you think about Deontay Johnson, whether he's a lock? I'm trying to just try to pencil in dudes on this roster. How many wide receivers are they keeping, and what's up for grabs?
Yeah, it's a great question. Obviously, the weapons, running back and tight end, you would certainly like Quinshon Judkins to have been a part of this significantly sooner. We don't even know an update there, so that's very murky. You know that they were banking on him to be a large part of things. Dylan Sampson has looked fine. He's looked good. He's explosive. He certainly was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year last year. There are some good moments, but there's some size stuff there. Can he handle that burden? Can he handle 250 carries in a season? He's looks the part. Jerome Ford has been dinged up at the start of camp. He's come back. He's rotating in. So those two are handling running back here. Strong gets the carries here and there. But tight end David Njoku looks fine. Samuel Geis' ninth camp. Kind of it makes you feel old quick. But Harold Fannin, the rookie from Bowling Green, they like him a lot. So I think they're going to play a lot of 12 personnel. They're going to get out of the three wide receiver world as consistently as they can is the hunch I have, because like you said, penciling in wide receivers is pretty tricky right now. If you want to say they're keeping six, well, they like Jerry Jeudy. He looks good. He physically looks the part. He's healthy. He's playing well. He'll be a nice weapon for him again this year. Cedric Tillman, if he can stay healthy, he's had some concussion issues the last 2 years. If he can stay healthy, they feel pretty good about him being the second guy. Then the third guy's a little bit up for grabs. You got like you mentioned, Deontay Johnson, a veteran, kind of on his last legs here, but he can still play. It's just a matter of attitude. It seems fine so far. He's been good enough. Jamari Thrash is a second-year guy out of Louisville that they like to get a little more opportunity to this year. But outside of that, then you kind of get into they're going to keep DeAndre Carter, who's a return specialist primarily, as the fifth guy, and is kind of can rotate and play some wide receiver. The sixth guy is okay, who's that going to be? There's a couple guys who that they seem to like here at camp. A guy named Gage Larvadane, who's had a really nice UDFA camp, a kid out of South Carolina. I think he was at Coastal Carolina before that. And then another local kid, Luke Floria, who's a mentor kid as well, that they like some of what he's been able to do. But, yeah, this is a tough – they usually have been much deeper at wide receiver So we're trying to figure out, are they keeping 5, they keeping 6, are they going to claim somebody, sign somebody? That's kind of been a little bit of the question because the depth at that position compared to how the DBs have practiced has been kind of startling at times.
Coming out of the draft, there's been so much focus on, the quarterback room, and rightfully so. There's a lot of intrigue there, and I get it. But with their first 2 picks, as you know, Jake, they went on the defensive side of the ball. And with their second-round pick, they drafted Carson Schlesinger out of UCLA to play linebacker for them for hopefully years to come. What's been the feel on the rookie so far with him handling probably a lot of work on his plate early on since you have the JOK situation hovering over their head? But Carson Schlesinger right now, what have you been seeing and hearing about him?
Yeah, so on top of the JOK situation, they had a veteran, an Ohio guy there, Jordan Hicks from Lakota. He's been around the league for a while. He retired abruptly, right? He was at camp and then kind of decided to step away. So they're all of a sudden like, okay, what are we doing at linebacker? But yes, Carson, to the surprise of nobody who knows him, has been really good. I mean, he's taken over play calling duties, that green dot that you wear on the defensive side. So he's getting calls in from the sideline, relaying them, doing a nice job. He physically moves really well. The UCLA tape was strong in pass coverage, but would it be able to play Mike in the NFL and fill the gap and handle the front and back work that you got to be able to do, fit in the gap and play him pass? He's just looked really good, and he moves really well. So I think as far as him and, like you mentioned, their first pick, Mason Graham, both have looked really good up here. Mason Graham's disruptive as he can be. He's been with the first team every day, kind of the same way with Schlesinger. They're expecting those guys to step on the field and be immediate impact players for them. And I think camp is one thing. We'll see if it translates into the gameplay here early in the preseason, but they look the part physically and, mentally to be able to handle it. Very impressed with Schlesinger's mental ability so far to set the defense, adjust things, and be the vocal point for them. And then, like I said, Mason, who's been paired with Malik Collins, who's a veteran pass rusher they signed this year. They are really disruptive in the interior, and I am pretty excited for where both of those guys are going to be in the next, year or two.
Well done, Jake. Love having your insight from practice. Thanks for breaking away for a few minutes for us, bud. We'll talk soon.
Anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
Jake Burns, Browns film breakdown and everything that's coming with it. So Pickett and Dillon kind of swapped hammy tightness, I guess.
Yeah. And then
Dillon's got the tightness now.
Shador, I believe, had some shoulder soreness going on. He was back out there. It's that time of year. But just real quick, going back to what he was saying about the D-line, I just think Mason Graham, we know him well right here in Big Ten country, what he can do, and that's a presence in the middle of the D-line where, drawing double teams. If he can go through that path or go down that path week in and week out and have offensive coordinators identifying him as a threat, Myles Garrett is already incredible. That's just going to open up, I think, even more for Jim Schwartz in that D-line to move some pieces around because they've been taking swings at that the last few years, bringing some new guys in. And a couple of those guys have had moments, but nobody has been consistent. Mason Graham being selected in the top 5, he's got to be that for them. And if he is, that D-line could be nasty.
So this is not to be disrespectful of him. I think they drafted for fit and need a little more than high end. Because when you and I discussed the draft, it was Myles and Abdul Carter and bookends, and holy cow, if Myles, when he eventually leaves, you've got that guy. I think that Graham gave them what they've been looking for. They already have pressure off the edge with Garrett, and Graham's going to help with the inside help that they were looking for. Yep. I'm not sure how dominant he can be because of it's not prototypical size, but he's a football player, and I'll be in wait and see mode, but he's not a prototypical guy. And so you're right that they're going to need that pick to really work out because Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett playing together was the holy cow. That was the upside. But it's hard to ignore what Graham's done. His production inside is pretty damn good. So and if they get something out of the guy you met, the second round pick,
Carson Schlesinger,
pick 33.
Yeah, they need it.
Then the analysis of their draft will be yet to see if Mason Graham was pick 5.
Yeah, and Abdul was 3. Abdul came off the board at 3, and now you look at Abdul and where he's at. That D-line may be the best D-line in the league over there. The Giants got a unit over there. But, Mason Graham will have his chances to win a lot because of Myles and the attention you got to pay to him on the outside, so he's got to deliver.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin up next, and one-star Buckeye is finding it very challenging, Maddie, to perform an everyday task. We'll give you that next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers, and you want to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab. Just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
The John Deere Gator XUV lets you cut, pack, drive, scout, weld, stack, feed, pull, load, tow, spray, and haul, all in a single day. Because with the highest cargo box volume in its class, customizable features, and a towing capacity of up to 4,000 pounds, it gets the job done. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at your John Deere dealer or visit johndeere.com/Gator XUV.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius. Or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. Earlier today, 12:30, we had Bruce Feldman with us from Fox Sports and The Athletic. He's been doing a annual Freaks list for 20 years.
Yep.
And he relies on, so you're asking, what is this?
AR, it's Right here it says coaches, schools, teammates, parents. NFL scouts.
That's
NFL scouting trainers. I'm sorry, NFL scouting combine trainers and agent. He says this article is a part of our Freaks List series, which chronicles the strongest, fastest, and most physical players in college football. And he's been doing this since 2005.
So you guys have to weigh in on this.
Yeah.
Why do we need the parents? What's that about?
Because they're going to doctor the stories in a hyperbolic and legendary way.
Is that just like an add-on? That's not who he really gets the intel from to get on. Once maybe they make the list, then he gets a little anecdote like TLC saying from the parents.
You know what that might mean? It might mean that he's used Deion Sanders in the past to talk about Shador.
All right, listen. It's not what you know. It's what you can prove.
All right.
You're darn right, Denzel.
All right. So the point of the whole story is that he has Jeremiah Smith at number 1.
Jeremiah Smith at 1. There was 100 guys on this list.
Freak.
He's got him.
Aside from Matty Ice.
You know what?
Might make the biggest freak off the field
There's some
list.
people. There's some people that have said my theme song in life should be "Freak a League" by Fittipaldo. So you might jacked off his own feet last night. By the way, my boy Roman Reigns got his lick back, baby. We got our lick back at SummerSlam this weekend. But going back to the Freaks list, Jeremiah at 1, as you mentioned. Sonny Styles came in at 10.
Yep.
There was 100 guys on this list. Only 2 Buckeyes made it in 2025. That does not mean they're not going to be a good team. This is about traits
Texas
and things like that.
barely had anybody on the list.
Right. So Buckeye fans, don't freak out about that. This just comes down to how high you can jump, how fast you can run.
You say don't freak out about the freak list.
I'm glad you caught that. I try. I get one every once in a while. All
right. So the other part of this story is that, as you know, very well know, that many celebrities find it challenging to perform everyday tasks. Like grocery shopping, there's constant public attention. And there's also potential for unwanted interactions. You know, the guy that pretends he's on the cell phone when he's not.
Wearing the headphones when there's nothing planned?
Maybe.
I may have played that card a few times.
Put on the noise-canceling headphones, but can hear everything somehow.
No.
Now, there's a difference between the loss of your privacy and having security concerns. Like, I don't think that's the case here. I don't think a Buckeye walking around campus or needs security, and he doesn't have it. But, you know, we also live in a world where you can do everything online. You can get grocery stuff delivered to your house, save on gas, save on time, all that. Have it right to your door.
Shout out to Instacart.
I don't think that anybody needs to go with some disguise or something or try to go hoodie I think because you're borderline, you're drawing more attention when you do something a little more in the disguise category. But Jeremiah Smith was asked about being a celebrity, trying to enjoy the opportunity to be out and about, and then have to maybe interact with fans as you're doing normal tasks. If it's not a scheduled deal where you have to interact with fans, maybe you think twice about actually going to do something. Here he is on that.
I'm still young, so I'm still trying to figure it out. So it'd be kind of hard because I know I like to go places and go out. So like Target, like shopping stuff, but I know being here I can't really do that. But yeah, like it's been pretty hard for me because, like I said, I like to go out and shop like that. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I like to go out with my parents. Every time they want to go to the grocery store, I always go. So it's been pretty hard for me, adjust to that type of stuff.
I like how he explained his history of shopping. I've been doing this since I was a little kid.
Like doing it with the fam when I was a youngin'. I'm not mad at it.
Can't or won't?
Won't.
Yeah, he dropped a can't go. He can.
Here comes his defense attorney. Come on.
He can go.
He can go, but in the world that we live in now with who he is in this city, it's not a get in and get out situation.
It's summertime.
It's not.
Roll into a Target.
Remember the video that the team put out where I think it was a Student Appreciation Day over there?
Yeah.
He was getting mobbed by students. And that's in a controlled environment. So I think when you go out, and if he's going to the Target that I think he's talking about, which is off Olentangy River Road, which is obviously close to campus, that could be a clunky trip for him. I could understand that, where even if it's not students, kids that are with their parents, have just grown-ups that are Buckeye fans, see Jeremiah Smith, they're going to say, can I get a selfie? Can I get an autograph? I think he's reached that point here in Columbus. Now, you go outside of Columbus, can he bounce around more? I believe so.
How recognizable is he?
Boom!
Right now?
There's the hot take that I was about to give. I don't think he has a recognizable face.
I think for Buckeye fans, they identify Jeremiah Smith in the blink of an eye right now, after last year, in this city. For sure. After what he did last year.
Out of uniform, regular clothing.
I think you look at him because
he's tall.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The giveaway might be his body type where you're like, whoa, that's a big dude who's built.
But in this era of he's on national TV, the social media stuff, the coverage every day at practice, like he is to me a no doubt recognizable face in Columbus.
If he was wearing a hoodie and baggy pants to where you couldn't see like the type of athletic build that he has.
People would recognize his face.
Would you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Look, this is no disrespect to a guy like Carnell Tate can go out and I think still be sneaky undercover. Jeremiah Smith is now beyond that.
It's certain locations, certain things. I think you guys are both right on this.
I don't know who I would recognize now. Because I would have said, like, if Will Howard or Jack Sawyer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think we just defined the 2025 Buckeyes.
Sonny Styles, I'd recognize.
Probably going to be in a wait-and-see mode on who, quote, can't go shopping.
Yeah.
Like, I think in the late July, early August, you walk into a Target for 10 minutes, I'm sure somebody would say to him,
it's a lot of people.
Good luck this year, JJ. Or
I think it's a lot of people, AR. I think you guys are underestimating the power of
how recognizable he is right now today
in Columbus.
Midsummer afternoon in Columbus, Ohio. Out of uniform.
The further you get from High Street, the less recognizable he would be. Again, if we're talking like Powell or Grove City, that means I'm not saying nobody would. I
think to your guys' point, I think to TLC's point, someone would go, that must be somebody.
Yeah.
That must be a football player.
I think
he's the odd 100% identifiable.
This is what people are saying is the best player in the country.
Julian Sayin walks into that Target.
He's not getting recognized. Not by a lot of people the way Jeremiah is.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Like I'm with you guys on that. But Jeremiah, he's the face of the team.
Can't go. He's got to go late night. Do it like I go. 24 hours after
I would
midnight.
recognize Sonny. I would recognize Lorenzo Styles Jr. I might be capped out at 2. Like, for sure, where I'm like, there's no question about it. That's exactly who that is. It would only be those 2.
Yeah. It's not shocking for me to hear that from him after so much
sacrifices need to be made.
So much
he used to
national
love riding
attention.
on the bottom of that shopping cart like a lot of us did, and now he can't do it anymore.
Nope.
Can't fit.
Nope.
That's today's Buckeye Bulletin. Top of the hour, Sports Center update, deep dive. A coach tabs his own team as potentially the sleeper to take it all. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress? Like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees, Wilson, to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
You know, it's not the shoes. It's what you can put in them that makes all the difference. Hey, it's Anthony. I've been a customer at the Good Feet store for a while now, and I'm all about my personally fit arch supports. They support my feet better than all the insoles I've jammed into my shoes over the years. And my Good Feet arch supports help me in a ton of ways. From overall support and balance to stabilizing my heels and the fact they distribute my body weight, especially when I'm golfing, I literally have spring in my step now. Check them out for yourself. The free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. You don't need an appointment, but you can certainly schedule one very easily online. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of, just like me. Get professionally fitted at goodfeet.com.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Jacob Reimer. We are 26 days away from Ohio State and Texas kicking off in Ohio Stadium on August 30th. We are so close to the college football season that USA Today has released their preseason coaches poll, and the Buckeyes and Longhorns sit 1 and 2 at the top of the poll. Texas beat out Ohio State with 28 first-place votes. The Buckeyes received 20 first-place votes. Now less than a month away until they square off in the shoe. Penn State received the next most first-place votes with 14. In baseball, the Cincinnati Reds look to bounce back tonight as they begin a big series at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. They get things started shortly after 8 o'clock with left-hander Nick Lodolo taking the mound for the Redlegs. Cincinnati currently sits 4 games back of a wild-card spot in the National League. And the Cleveland Guardians are also on the road tonight, beginning a series with the New York Mets. Slade Ciccone will get the start for Cleveland. The first pitch is at 7:10. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
Final hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. Ray Fittipaldo Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, 2:30, live from Steelers camp. If you're just joining us, number one is up for grabs at the end of the month. Coaches poll, Texas 1, Buckeyes 2. Heavyweight battle. You know what the narrative will be. Will this be a bookend season where they're playing once and then playing again for it all, or somewhere in the playoff? Feels like it. This is a beautiful era for coaches, players, the whole deal. Not only are a lot of them making a lot of money above board, but the fact that the coaches are coaching in an era where one loss doesn't bounce you. And you can exploit your weaknesses. You can get better. You can circle the wagons if you have the right guys with the right mindset. I think back to the 90s. And if any of those Buckeye teams that I covered would have gone in as a 6 seed, would they have? How many titles would they have? Who knows? But you know damn well they would have been playing for it. And so this is the beauty of this era. And it's the other reason why it could be amazing that Ryan Day could have a couple titles before he leaves or more. He's going to get in. He's going to have that chance to win more than Tress, more than Urban, more than Woody. Like, he's got that. This is the era.
And that in the era that we're in, you can make a case that the grind is a little tougher to win a national championship. So while the opportunity is there, if you lose a game or two, once you get into the new dance, it's 3-4 games that you have to win against really good programs. So that's the other side of it, too, as well. Yes, if you're James Frank or any coach right now, right, and you have the roster to do it, there is a pathway after you get into the playoff, if you don't have the bye, or even if you have the bye, to where it's still a grind to get it done. And Ohio State's team last year had the benefit of health on their side. Josh Simmons, Seth McLaughlin, those were tough blows. But, you know, your Jeremiahs, your Will Howards, and your Emmett's, those guys were available more times than not. And so you got to have that type of luck on your side as well.
Long season. Yeah. And you have to. The other part of it, if you can add it to the other side of the ledger, is that a lot of these coaches touted themselves as the program would sell itself, and the coaches and these legendary coaches that could go into a room and command the best talent. And now, if the school really backs you and you go to your AD and say, or your collective, we got to have this guy, I got to have him, you could swing big money and get a guy that maybe you wouldn't have gotten on your own, potentially. And you can outbid somebody to lure somebody away. And so you got that going for you if you're the right school with the right bankroll. And this is where we are. And Ohio State, and I would never say they're on house money. The expectations are always too big. And they've done a very good job at separating themselves from last year. And it'll start at the bottom of the month here, and it's going to be incredible. But the winner of that game is going to cement itself as the number one team in the nation.
So you touched on Texas and Ohio State being 1 and 2 in the coaches poll for 2025, first coaches poll of the year. Based off of this coaches poll alone, Ohio State will play 4 of the top 14 teams in the initial coaches poll: Texas, Penn State, Illinois, and Michigan. So Penn State came in at 3. Illinois came in at 12, Michigan came in at 4, and as we know, Texas is at 1. So some real speed bumps along the way, but Ohio State can go into any building anywhere with arguably the best talent in the world and get it done. It's just about how quickly that's going to happen this year and how quickly those guys can recover from maybe some of those speed bumps, not in the form of a loss, but maybe in the first half of games. Do you have guys that are seasoned enough to know how to get off the mat? So that's what's going to be fun about this year's. Obviously, figuring out what's going to happen at quarterback, what level of play they're going to get week in and week out at quarterback. But the questions as far as, you know, the defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, and how well or how quickly that comes together. They're going to have some time after the Texas game to get right. But just looking at this top 25 that came out today, 4 of the top 4 teams that are in this ranking, Ohio State will face during the regular season.
What will be interesting is if, and I'm going to check their schedule real fast, because there may be not equal pressure, but there may be significant pressure on this Illinois team when Ohio State plays them. So they're going to be hosting Ohio State. Now, if Illinois goes to Indiana in week 4 and wins, and that'll be the early big test for them, they come back for USC, they go to Purdue. They could easily be undefeated come October 11th. And so you're telling me they're 12 in the coaches poll right now?
Illinois is 12. You mentioned Indiana. They came in at 19.
Yeah. So Illinois is a top 10 football team come October 11th if they're undefeated.
Yeah.
And they're hosting with a chance. And I'm not ever saying that more pressure would be on Illinois. But from an opportunity standpoint, they may view that as a milestone of milestone. How real are they? You could already hear in the narrative if Ohio State has to go. Now, also, the other interesting part would be is if Ohio State already has a loss against Texas, then the pressure would be fairly big to beat Illinois. Because if they were to suffer 2 losses before the Penn State game, then all of a sudden you start losing your get-out-of-jail-free card. Being Ohio State, being talented, knowing that you circled the wagons and came in as a high seed last time, or low seed, whichever way you want to look at it, and how much benefit of the doubt do you get? And then we haven't even talked about the Michigan game, which is on the road at the end of the year.
That's what, listen.
And I'm not saying that going to Madison is a 3-foot putt. It probably is talent-wise, but it isn't when it comes to if you already have 2 losses. Now, in reverse, if you beat Texas, you're number 1. And now that carries such a big deal. That's why it's really beautiful, and it could work both ways for Ryan Day in that they're either humbled early and really are focused, or Maddie, they win the opener, and now it's the big bring them on again. The repeat is on, and here we go. And so I love this schedule, but if you're Illinois, now the one thing that would take away from this would be is if Illinois loses to Indiana. And then they fall out of the top 15.
How they lose would matter, right? Like if that's a barn burner type of game and, it's 24-21, that's not going to be the worst thing. But you're right. Like that's huge for Illinois because that's going to be the game to where people really look at them and say, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Clemson, Illinois, Penn State, a lot of buzz around those 3 programs this offseason. And for Illinois, in the same way we talked about Penn State earlier, what they're resetting with is big. Veteran quarterback, bunch of O-linemen coming back, bunch of starters on both sides of the ball coming back. But that's going to be the game. There's no doubt. It is that Indiana game September 20th and the one where they host Ohio State. We were talking about this when the schedule dropped. Yeah. There's a word for Ohio State to where this is a no doubt 10-2, 9-3 type of season. That's no doubt in play with the uncertainty on Ohio State's side of things and then the 4 opponents that we're talking about. Like we went into the Michigan game last year looking at roster for roster and how those teams got to that point. We're like, we just don't see it with Michigan. You're just not seeing it. Now, we know with that game, things get funky for sure. But you're talking 4 games this year to where you told us right now, AR, that they lost 2 or 3 of those. Would you be shocked? I know we haven't seen them play yet, but on paper right now, that wouldn't shock me.
Which 2, Urban?
It wouldn't shock me.
By the way, the best I wish I could have
because Urban did come out and say that,
but he didn't say which 2.
Well, for the folks that don't know what you guys are referencing, Urban came out after the schedule dropped and said that he thinks this will be a 10-2 type year for Ohio State.
But the funny thing is that he sounded so optimistic when he said it. He was saying a bunch of great things about it. He goes, they're great. They may have lost a lot, but there's a really good program. They're at 10-2 this year.
He acted like 10-2 was some.
If I had to guess in his mind, it's probably with everything they lost. If you turned the page with a new quarterback and had a whole bunch of new starters and you went 10-2, that would be a good year.
Well, in his era, it wouldn't be because they wouldn't make the playoff. Yeah. But you can say 10-2 sounds great again because you're in.
You got life.
You're absolutely in, and you weren't before.
You got life.
If these guys like Coop and even Urban and Tress, if you sat them down and said, can you imagine if you were coaching in this era and you knew you needed a top 12 team to have a shot at the title every year? You'd be like, well, we got equal talent. Mm-hmm. As long as I can keep their minds right, keep the kids happy fund if that's flowing. But it's all the other stuff that comes with it. The portal, the recruiting a different way, chemistry, trying to build that. Do I have enough upperclassmen? All of that. But yeah, I mean, they were a 10-2 football team last year, and it felt but it felt we were coming off the Michigan game. Everybody knows it. But losing to Oregon by 1 on the road there was no shame in that. It was just disappointing the way it ended. And then they kind of slogged through Nebraska. And then they had the injury going into Penn State, and you started to worry. But the way they thumped Indiana, there was no reason to believe they were going to lose to Michigan.
I'm glad you brought up the Nebraska game, too, because we're talking about 4 teams that are ranked. And some, you look at the history of not only Ohio State, but big-time programs, and you're going to have that sleepy game. You just saw it. It happened to Georgia last year. Who they lose to? Kentucky on the road? No, Kentucky's
they
almost lost, right? But those are those games to where sometimes you just don't have it. And teams, when they see you, you're going to get their best. And I don't know if that's going to be Washington this year. As you mentioned, maybe Wisconsin, 2 games are on the road. But there's going to be a surprise game that pops up outside of the Texas, Illinois, Penn State, Michigan kind of pairing there, grouping there.
Penn State and Ohio State both have the same bye week. So they will have 2 weeks to hype that game this year. We come back. Who's the sleeper in the pros? We'll tell you next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without having to take your time? You thought to yourself, I'll just tough it out. But nothing changes. Hi, it's Tyvis Powell. It's time to call and schedule that free consultation with Dr. Walkoff and his team at QC Kinetics here in Columbus. I'm glad I did. Myself and others have turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies. No scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Check it out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Bring your x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Start your morning knowing anything is possible, because if these guys are hosting a radio show, imagine the possibilities. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
Your home for football, food, and fun. The Fan.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job.
Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A fantastic start to the new week with not a lot of humidity and mostly to partly sunny skies. Afternoon highs will be in the mid to low 80s, and then for tonight, we'll get down to the mid 60s overnight with partly cloudy skies. For Tuesday, a small chance of showers and storms in the second half of the day, otherwise partly sunny and highs in the mid to low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman Ice present Pre-Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Oh, we love storylines in the NFL. And one of the ones that I tend to lean into the most is, do we have a sleeper that could win the Super Bowl? It seems rare. And so you're going to ask the right question. All of you listening. All right, what constitutes as a sleeper? So you don't have the odds list up, do you, Matty?
I do.
Okay. I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, is a sleeper about 30-1 or worse?
I was going to say like 25-ish to 1. So we're kind of in the same ballpark.
All right. So let's define, okay, so we're going 25 or 1 or higher. And those teams typically miss the playoffs. In the previous year was what I mean. Or they exited early. You know, they had to make some improvements.
Yeah.
So whether we talk about offseason acquisitions or coaching changes or their young stars growing up, it's not really about being lucky. You have to show some signs of strength and that you could pop at the right moment in the playoffs. And so a lot of them is strong second half finishes, improvements in point differential the previous season. You have an emerging quarterback that's a talent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's how I would define it. And I think a lot of experts do. Let's talk about the Denver Broncos. Because ever since Manning left, they've been treading water in, what are they? What are their odds right now to win the Super Bowl?
They are at 28-1.
So they would count as a sleeper.
And their head coach, Sean Payton, believes that they have the goods to get it done because he said this over the weekend. Quote, the short-term goal is winning the division, but this is a team capable of winning the Super Bowl. I've coached 6 teams that I thought could win the Super Bowl. Some went to the championship games, some to the playoffs. This is my 7th team that I think has that. First of all, it's wild that a head coach is saying this. When we go down this road of spicy comments like, I'm going to do this or we're going to do that, that rarely comes from the coaches, let alone a head coach. And so the fact that Sean Payton said this on record, I'm here for it because I love this type of content. But in that wild AR, it was like last year. Remember when Joe Burrow took to the podium? I can't remember what week it was. Yeah. But after that, he was like,
started counting wins.
You know, we go win 7 in a row. We're good. And we're like, okay, Joey B. Like, you know, those are eye-opening.
What happened to the take it one game at a time?
Exactly. And so now that you have Sean Payton saying this, and Sean Payton's one of the most respected head coaches out there. So he knows what it takes.
By some people.
He sees the vision. Yeah. He sees the vision, AR, and he thinks his Broncos can win it all this year. So 28-1 over at Bet365.
Here's probably the unknown feel about them. If you go back and look at their points allowed per game.
Awesome.
That's a top 3 defense.
They'll probably be that again.
And they also have something that Ice and I love in a football team.
Gosh, just a nasty O-line.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty O-line, AR. And you have Patrick Surtain, reigning, defending, defensive player of the year. They added Jahdae Barron, first-round pick at corner. They just signed one of their premier D linemen to a deal this weekend. Did they not? Zach Allen?
Zach Allen, 4-year deal, yeah.
I believe he was a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro last year. And so the structure is there. Really good defense. Bo Nix looked promising last year. AR, I don't know how you feel about the playmakers. They're okay for me. Like, they're really relying on this R.J. Harvey kid to come in at running back and be a dude. J.K. Dobbins, former Buckeye, has an opportunity with them now as well. That's one of the questions I have for them is, offensively, do they have enough juice? Because Cortland Sutton, he's good, but I don't know if he's scaring you like some of the other number one receivers in the league, but they may not need that if their defense is lights out.
All right, so let's examine the sleepers and see if we're going to really go all in on Denver. Because I've got a few other ones that I need the odds on to see if they qualify in sleeper mode.
I'm here for you, player. What do you need?
Right.
What are you thinking about?
Where are the Washington Commanders right now?
The Commanders are at 18-1.
They wouldn't qualify then.
No.
Not amongst us. All right, so I can't use them. Where are the Chicago Bears?
The Bears are at 40-1. 40-1.
Oh, we can't do that again.
I don't know.
I'm not saying we can. We're just trying to find a sleeper. And by the way, if Denver's the sleeper, I'm good. We'll just trying to examine a couple others that we may want to look at before we go all in on Denver.
Real quick, there are two teams in the AFC West at 28-1. As we mentioned, the Denver Broncos.
Bolts up.
And the LA Chargers at 28-1. If you had to bet on one of those horses, AR, to get it done, or I'll throw another 28-1 at you. Tampa, the Chargers, or the Broncos? If you had to sprinkle on one of them to hold up that Lombardi trophy.
Chargers, or who was the last one?
Or the Broncos.
I'd probably go Chargers.
I would too.
Yeah. Because when you have a dominant rushing game, it feels like you can hang your hat on that.
And they got a top 12-ish quarterback. Herbert's good.
They have your guy, Najee.
Yeah.
Anamari and Hampton, who I saw up in Canton. Not saw him, no gong. Just saw him on the field.
North Carolina running back who they drafted in the first round this year. So Harbaugh, bread and butter, as we know. 100% AR. Power run game. They drafted last year in the first round. Joe Alt,
baby.
From Notre Dame to pair with Rashawn Slater. So they got their bookend tackles of the year. Yeah, I'm of those 28-1 teams, I would lean Chargers just because I think their ceiling at quarterback is higher. Now, I don't think their defense is going to be as good as Denver's, but at the difference-making position, I would bet on Harbaugh and Herbert figuring out.
Did you say Herbert's a top 12 quarterback?
Ish. Yeah. That's what I said, 12-ish.
Where are the Houston Texans on that odds list?
Now, this is the team that I love, their value, as far as a sleeper. Because they're at 30-1.
Brought in Gardner Johnson.
Their defense is going to be nasty.
And they are
Derek
easily
Stingley Jr.
And then they got on the other side Lassiter. He's an awesome
Lassiter,
number 2 corner. And then the trenches are for real with Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson.
I'll give you this. Out of all the teams we're naming, they are the least likely to miss the playoffs.
Yeah. I like that in the division.
30-1.
I think we found one that we'd probably bet on more than
I'm with you guys
than Denver.
And in that building,
division.
With that quarterback and head coach, they've done some playoff appearances, right? So they know what that's about the last 2 years. And they had to grind last year. They had to go through some adversity with the injuries and all that and figure things out on the fly. The subtraction of Laramie Tunsil at tackle, don't love that. I don't love that.
No.
But I do think their defense is going to be top 5-ish, 7-ish, which is great. And then I think they have a difference maker at quarterback with a star at wide receiver in Nico Collins.
Yeah.
Some OGs at running back with Mixon and Chubb. But value alone, I can rock with the Texans at 30-1. I'm in.
Wouldn't be bad to bet on both of them. Steph, Houston, and Denver.
Yeah.
Feel like you've got 2 in the chamber there.
Yeah, but Sean Payton, they are saying this year's team, they got the goods. He believes.
Okay. It's good value. When you have that defense, you're in the games.
Yeah.
Limit turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Decent home field advantage when they're good.
Especially late in the year. It gets cold out there. Yeah, that's legit.
All right, those are your pre-snap reads for today. We come back in 2 minutes. Our friend Ray Fittipaldo, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and maybe an area of the Steelers that we have undervalued. We'll ask him next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gahanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. These windows were great. Oh boy, for about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason, my windows way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Want to jinx your favorite sports team?
Please get out of my Van Halen t-shirt before you jinx the band and they break up.
Just ask Maddie to print your shirts. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Steelers are back in business, or they think they are. Raising the floor with Aaron Rodgers, we'll see. Trading away a big weapon in Pickens, but maybe the one area we haven't talked about enough, and now that they got TJ all signed and sealed, is the urgency they had to kind of add to that defensive line and improve that area, which is a calling card for them, and how crowded their defensive line room is and how good of a problem is that to have, as it's weird to talk about, quote, the steel curtain as not being able to stop a run. That's kind of the way I looked at him last year. We bring in our friend Ray Fittipaldo, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, live from Steelers camp. My man, how are we feeling, Ray?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Very well. Thanks for asking. We want to talk about how they attacked that urgency on the defensive line. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, listen, that's why they used their first-round pick on Derek Harmon. They've already inserted him as a starter. And he's been one of their best interior players throughout training camp. So, you know, Cam Hayward is a guy they're bringing along slowly. I'd say he practices every other day. So Derek Harmon is getting plenty of reps in there, and he looks good. But I got to tell you, one of the under-the-radar guys on the defensive line this season, I think, is going to be another rookie, and that's fifth-round pick Y.A. Black out of Iowa. For my money, he's been their best reserve defensive tackle. This guy is huge. He's 6'5", 340, and he's got a special skill in batting down passes. He's just really good at it, and the Steelers value that. So they're not terribly deep on the defensive line after Hayward, Harmon, Keanu Benton, and Black, all Big Ten guys, by the way.
Is he a nose tackle, Ray, real fast? Is he a nose tackle?
He was a nose tackle at Iowa, but he's playing a lot of 3 and 5 technique for the Steelers. He's not playing backup nose for the Steelers. But like I said, he's been really good, and they're not really deep there, but with those four, I think they got a pretty good foundation.
All right, Ray, let's flip it over to offense and talk about what your eyes have seen when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Like, there's a feel out there that he's going to provide a safer floor than what they got last year, but just looking at him through, the first few rounds of training camp practices, what's jumped out to you about Aaron Rodgers now in a Steelers uniform?
The chemistry has been slow to build with Rodgers and his receivers. And I guess that was to be expected. He didn't sign until the first week of June. They didn't bring in Jonnu Smith until the last week of June. So, for people who were expecting them to, hit the ground running, that wasn't going to happen. There have been a lot of balls on the ground, miscommunications or just lack of chemistry. And I should point out that the Steelers' defense, especially their secondary, has been pretty good through the first 2 weeks of camp. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going up against Jalen Ramsey every day, Joey Porter Jr., and Darius Slay. Now, Darius Slay might be 34 years old, but that guy can still play, and Ramsey can definitely still play. So it's been tough sledding so far for Aaron and the receivers, but I would expect with another few more weeks of camp that they should be in a better place by the time the regular season gets here in about a month or so.
All right, Ray, obviously the talk's been about Rodgers, but, we track our guys here for Ohio State, and give me a little training camp, noise from either Jack Sawyer or how they feel about Will Howard if needed.
Yeah, Jack had a great practice yesterday. He had 4 one-on-ones against an undrafted rookie by the name of Stephen Jones out of Oregon. And he won 3 of the reps, and he easily beat him on 2 of them. And I think he's going to have a hat every Sunday. I think he's going to have a small role in that outside linebacker rotation, but a bigger role down the road. Will Howard he's a fan favorite. I don't know if it's because he's a Pennsylvania kid or if it's because he's an Ohio State kid, but that guy probably gets more cheers than any other rookie out there. And one thing about Will, and I don't know if he has the arm strength to potentially be a starter someday, but he's got all the leadership qualities. He's got command of the offense. He checks plays at the line of scrimmage. He doesn't make any mistakes. And you guys probably know what that's all about, because I know that's the way he was at Ohio State. I think the big question that we're going to see play out over the next couple of weeks, starting Saturday in Jacksonville, is can he make those NFL throws? And if he does, I think he's got a chance to maybe do something down the road. But to me, that's the biggest question. His intangibles are off the charts. They love that about him. We'll see on Saturday if he can start making some of those NFL throws.
Ray, I remember last year when AR and I were talking to you about the offense, we were locked in on, the pass catchers. Do they have enough juice there, right? Like outside of George Pickens, what is that going to look like? I think there's a similar vibe, specifically at the wide receiver position, but I want to lock in on the tight ends and what Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin have been saying about the addition of Jonnu Smith with Freiermuth, how they want to use those guys this year. Are we looking at heavier personnel? What's been said about how they want to go about, implementing Smith and Freiermuth week in and week out?
Yeah, first week in pads last week, they debuted a 4 tight end set. They had Connor Hayward in as a fullback. They had Jonnu Smith in as a tailback, and they ran toss sweep. So Arthur Smith is going to be creative with his tight ends. They like all of those guys because all those guys have different skill sets. But to me, what we have to see play out is, the target share between Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith, because both guys really are number 1 tight ends, especially if you look at Smith and the way the Dolphins used him last year. I mean, that guy had 88 catches, almost 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Freiermuth definitely is the Steelers' number 1. So are they going to have a tough time keeping both of those guys happy, or are they going to be able to, use those guys in different ways? I think ideally Freiermuth is a guy who maybe stretches the field a little bit. You throw to him down the hashes, and then Jonnu Smith is most effective near the line of scrimmage, throw it to him short, see if he can get some yards after the catch. But they definitely like their tight ends, and it's going to be interesting to see how Arthur Smith uses those guys.
Anybody else are I call them the R-dubs. Did Roman Wilson or Robert Woods, have they made any noise?
Wilson had a nice catch the other day, touchdown over Joey Porter Jr., but nothing consistently there. Robert Woods hasn't done much. I was looking at that today. You know, he signed for 1 year, $2 million. If he's not up to it, I don't think they're going to feel like they have to keep him. But, you know, to your point, there's not a lot of other options for the Steelers. You know, the other guys who are in consideration for that final spot now are Ben Skoranek, who's really good on special teams. Ben's probably going to make it. And then Scotty Miller, who's a veteran and, you know, just a pro and knows how to get open, and he's always going to be in the mix. But after DK Metcalf and Calvin Austin, there's not much depth there. So it'll be interesting to see if Omar Khan addresses that position after final cutdowns.
When you look at where the offensive line is right now on paper, where is the biggest question mark for you?
Probably left tackle. You know, Broderick Jones, number 14 overall pick a couple of years ago, played on the right side his first 2 seasons. Really struggled last year, gave up double-digit sacks, and now they're counting on him to flip over and be Aaron Rodgers' blindside protector. So he's had a slow start of camp, and he's got to pick it up. And then, you know, Troy Fautano on the right side, right tackle, he's coming off an injury. He spent his entire season, rookie season, on IR last year. I think the expectations are higher for Troy. They really feel like he could be a good player. The issue always with him is the injuries. He was injured at Washington, and then obviously he had the knee injury that knocked him out last season. So, you know, you talk about keeping a 41-year-old quarterback upright, the tackles better be good, and I would say that's probably the biggest question mark for the Steelers as they get set to enter the season.
Really insightful stuff from Steelers training camp, his observations. He's our friend Ray Fittipaldo, covering the Steelers in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Thanks, Ray. We'll check it again soon, bud.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Ray was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Boy, the Steeler fans are kind of like, I talked to a few this weekend, and I feel like they believe that Rodgers gives them a different floor. Mm-hmm. And they also like the relationship. You know, he's Tomlin's guy and all that. Mm-hmm. And I added to the equation that whatever he's going to be, this is his chance to really make peace with his career. Be a good locker room guy. Be a good leader. You don't have the skills you used to have. Is he totally washed? Probably not. But everybody knows his ceiling is only a certain height. But it's one of those things where they need each other. Tomlin needs to somehow keep winning, and Aaron Rodgers wants to stay in the show and milk the last ounce of football he's got left. Yeah. And so I do think they'll be on the same page that way, mentally.
I think the relationship between the two will be pretty good. I do. Now, if losses start to stack up, where does that go? I don't know, but I think out of the gate, between Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers, there feels to me that there's a healthy amount of respect there, which is what you want. But beyond that, this is just all about Aaron Rodgers potentially raising the ceiling of where they can be on offense and scaring defenses more than what they had last year. I mean, there were only 5 teams worse than the Steelers a year ago when it comes to passing yards per game. I think he'll take that to higher heights, and then you can balance out some things offensively if he does so.
He's got to win the revenge game right out of the gate against the Jets on the road. Got to win that.
Yeah.
You come home, you should beat Seattle. Won't be easy, but you should. Then if he outduels Drake May, and they're 3-0 before going overseas to play my Vikes, and then getting the bye, coming back to take on the Browns, then all of a sudden they're kind of into the season. But if they trip out of the gate and they have to go to Cincinnati, host Green Bay, go to the Chargers, get the Bengals twice in the first half of the season.
Going to New England's not going to be easy either, week 3.
It's not. And I just think they should be 2-1 before going overseas, and then they'll feel. But if they're somehow 1-2, then it starts to weigh heavily.
And to your point about that Jets game, because I completely agree with you, he needs that.
Yeah.
The Steelers need that too. Because the quarterback playing for the other team that game,
he can't get outdueled.
You said we don't need that guy.
That's right.
So you can't have that guy come back and beat you.
We come back. Tell the truth next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, our full line of Tyson Fresh Chicken is on sale. Select varieties are buy one, get one free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat Fan Drive, benefiting Life Care Alliance. You can help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. How can you help? Purchase new box fans and bring them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station, or you can buy online and ship fans directly to Life Care Alliance. The collection and distribution of fans is to assist residents who are at risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Mira, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, flexible payment plans. Act now. Visit bluejackets.com/tickets.
Cash, moolah, greenback toast, Skrilla, chips, bread and mold, cheddar, butter, lewd and scratch. Find the lettuce, make a match. Lettuce, gravy, game on the back for $30. That's a wrap. There's many words for cash, no doubt, but there's only one $30 cash word. Check it out. Cash word from Ohio Lottery. It's $30, yo. Cash word, it's fun to go with millions of prizes, don't you know? Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Need help with budgeting, debt, or savings goals? CME's certified financial counselors are here for you. Free, confidential, and ready to guide you with real-life solutions. Let's tackle your goals together. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org for additional details.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Get 50% off all window styles, plus no interest until 2030. Visit windownation.com now.
All right, TLC, take us home.
It's National Coast Guard Day. Tell the truth. Is there any alternate universe where you could have made it in the military?
What did they say? Got a 6 to 8 week training program there? A real tough one? Which is perfect for me. I would have walked out of there a lean, mean fighting machine.
I can't name the movie.
That's too bad.
That is.
Chicks dig me because I rarely wear underwear, and when I do, it's usually something unusual.
That's correct. Any alternate universe. Yeah, I mean, we were athletes. I mean, it's not like, I know it's the mental grind of that. Get your butt down, soldier, get it shot off one day. My dad was, so I'd like to think, even though I wasn't part of that great generation, that I feel like maybe I could have lived up to him, but
TLC, I can't even sit outside in 30-degree weather. I'm not built for that. So much respect to the men and women that have protected our country and put in the work. I'm not built for that.
Army,
I don't think I would last
Navy,
10 seconds.
Air Force, Marines. What a great place. It's a great place.
Yeah, I know
2-star.
I know me, and I would be ready to tap out after probably 72 hours. There's just no way. So I'm not even going to act like I could do that. No chance.
Think about that, by the way. You played, man. Let's think about it.
Who is that?
It's Uncle Ian Fitzsimmons.
What do you think it is? Listen to it.
Think about that, by the way. You played, man. Let's think about it.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
that's
my
incredible.
God.
That's a this year version?
That happened a week ago. Well, a week or two ago, yeah.
I implore everyone.
Yes.
Keep it in the circle.
All of our wonderful circle of trust.
Please.
It's one of the greatest things that's happened is that Maddie has somehow been grandfathered in somehow to like this fraternity of former greats. And just please, it's awesome.
Okay, for those people that don't know what AR and I are talking about, Ian Fitzsimmons, love him to death. We have him on.
He'll be on again with us.
No doubt. He'll come on every week. I believe every Monday. We'll try to shoot for that again. Talk about college
football. Clip off
football.
every single one.
In almost every interview, when I ask him a question, he will say,
3, 2, 1.
Think about that, by the way. You played, man. Let's think about it.
He thinks I played, folks. So let's keep this between us. Do not relay this to Uncle Ian.
So this is either, and I've said this before, this is either, and I've known Ian for a long time. I was at Channel 6 when he was here. And he knows that I've hosted with Spiels. And obviously D and Big
Bobby.
Cat and Bobby and all these guys. So he must just either assume that whoever I host with must have played or that Maddie's so insightful and that the questions are so analytical that he must just assume you played because the questions are so good.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore because I don't want this to get back to him. So please, nobody tweet him, nothing.
Yeah, no, just
this is our secret.
Leave it.
Is there a third option?
There definitely is a third option.
The third option is the one you brought
There's
up.
definitely a
and
third
I'm not
option.
going to that one.
What?
Because that is not.
You don't need to say it. I will say it. TLC.
No.
Here.
That's unfair.
Black?
That's.
Was that Titus?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Black? You guys are unreal.
There you go. That's all that needs to be said. And again, we love Ian Fitzsimmons. Love him. And Titus Powell, of course. People's Champ.
What am I thinking of? All right, go ahead. Continue.
Novak just backed out of the Cincinnati Open, so he's going. I know. And you and Scotty Vegas are going.
And my dad.
Really?
Yeah, Maddie's he hung with us.
My dad went with Scotty Vegas and AR 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, and we had him. We were betting on every point, and he was like, "I can't deal with this anymore." And I actually asked. I think I asked Novak a question in one of the pressers that we snuck in there.
But is it over?
No, it's not over. I think he can manage. What did they say?
Oh, I don't know. I just read a headline.
Because you kind of want that tune-up for the U.S. Open.
2025.
Okay,
I don't know. I just read a headline.
Yeah, I don't know. I just clicked on it.
Could have been anything.
Just that simple.
Yeah.
There are going to be a few NBA centels that I bring to the show in the show meeting at some point in time. Hey, I saw this headline. Oh, it wasn't real.
It's over for Joker
out of the
AR?
onion. No, I don't think it's over. I don't think he's going to win another major.
Tryouts.
Need to watch that movie.
Well, that's who by the way, that's who I was thinking of when I thought, who was Coffee Black?
Coffee Black. I don't know who that is, big dog.
Black? It's a character in Semi-Pro.
Coffee Black. Oh,
Will
okay.
Ferrell, yeah. The guy you don't like.
No, it's a hair overrated for me. That's all. Just a little bit. A little bit.
And the fan poll, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon, let's say they all make the CFP. Who would be the fourth Big Ten team? Illinois, Indiana, or Michigan?
I'm not rolling with a true freshman quarterback and Bryce Underwood. I can't do that.
I think Mendoza's he's certainly unknown to people, but I've heard incredible things. He's had great starts at Cal, but I would err on Luke Altmaier in Illinois.
Yeah. And there you have it.
I think I'm like a hard 6.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Ari.
Or a soft 4.
Hey, before we go, if you missed anything from our show, don't worry.
Come on.
You guys are nuts.
All right, go ahead.
Don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3, we'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Coming up on Common Man and Timmy, no Timmy. Adam King in the house with Common Man, so don't move.
It's great to be back with you, fellas. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Rothman, Ice, and the Fan.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because we know in making the most of your home, DIY doesn't just stand for do it yourself. It also means dream it yourself. And we're here to help protect the dreams you're building. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot, and not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
Is like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding, and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP. or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
Donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
And we have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
We work to help your neighbors, the planet, and you.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.